industry.
When the pandemic is finally over, it could create major disruptions for healthcare. Experts say the system has been made more generous, flexible, and up-to-date through a number of emergency measures. Winding down those policies could start this summer if the Biden administration ends a federal public health emergency. That would force 15 million Medicaid recipients to find new sources of coverage. It would also scramble COVID rules and payment policies for hospitals, doctors, insurance companies, and patients. Jason Walker reporting.
Senate Minority Leader McConnell says President Biden's decision to tap the Strategic Petroleum Reserve in a bid to bring down gas prices is a Band-Aid approach, mere drop in the bucket. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio. Yeah!
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Friday, everybody.
Yes.
Welcome to it.
Mm-hmm. Finally.
Yeah. Thanks for Sean for filling in, even though it was a thing. I think did you explain to him about
I kind of gave him the backstory. I said I was going to be here anyways.
Yeah.
The plan was I was going to be here anyways. But then it opened up and I was thinking, okay, cool. I've got a little extra time because I've got this show coming up tonight that I still have to, sort of put together and build.
Sock hoppery.
Yeah, the sock hop. So I was thinking, okay, cool. I have this, a couple extra hours I can put it together this morning and yesterday morning. And then I ended up having to be here anyways. And so it was just kind of like, well, I was planning on being here anyways, so I'll just keep the seat warm for you.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was no big deal.
He'll be doing it again Monday.
That's right.
For reals this time.
Mm-hmm. So, for reals this time. Yeah, that was just a warm-up.
Yeah. So, I screwed up my scheduling of colonoscopy-isms, and so I was a day late, and so I don't know. I'm impressed with myself of how I did that. I don't know how, to this day, I had it screwed up one day off. My internal clock or something.
My mindset is that your body was doing it to protect itself.
Maybe.
Your brain was like, we don't want to do this anymore. We're not ready for this again. It's only been 6 months. We haven't recuperated. Give us one more week.
That's right. And that's what they did. So it knew. The body knew. No, it just spaced on it. So Monday I'll go do that, and I'll be back Tuesday. So
indeed.
So I get
bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
So should be a fun Sunday for me now.
Oh.
Sunday fun day.
What sucks is you already went through the process once. I mean, you already did the fasting.
I did half fast because it was about noon, one-ish, when I said, oh, I'm supposed to have been there this morning instead of today. And so I only fasted until noon. Once I realized, and I called them, and they didn't want me to come in on Thursday, I was like...
I like how your brain works. You're like, no colonoscopy? Sandwich!
Sandwich 4 for 4. With a chip chaser.
Sandwich stinger with a chip back.
So I'll do that on Monday there. But today is awesome, not only because it is Friday. I mean, that in and of itself is awesome.
I would agree.
It is April Fool's Day.
Yeah, so don't believe anyone or anything you hear.
Yeah,
so
anybody that tells you anything that remotely sounds weird, odds are it's April Fool's Day related. So press on.
Which sucks because
If you've got actual real news.
Well, that. But
Yeah.
several times over the past 3-4 years, I have heard and seen companies come up with legitimately awesome sounding products. And then they're like, nah, we're kidding. I'm like,
Oh,
what?
yeah. Yeah,
I kind of want that.
Yeah, they'll be like, M&M's releases a new flavor, Kit Kat, or something. You're like, yeah, that'd be great. April Fools.
I mean, I know that's the point, is to upset me, but...
You know what? You know a joke that somebody played in this community that I would argue is one of the better ones in the more recent years? It's when someone just casually put a Hooters sign.
You know what? That was...
It was a couple years ago.
That was real good.
You remember?
It wasn't April Fool's, I don't think.
You know,
but that
I thought it was. It was right around this time.
Because it was up for a while.
Yeah.
It was up for
I think it started April Fool's, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
And then it just sat there for a while. People were like, we're getting a Hooters? I can't wait for the Hoots to come. And they were like, no, no Hooters.
There's going to be a Texas Roadhouse now. There now.
That would be a mean long con. They built this building and it's like, it's just a warehouse. That's the long con right there.
That is pretty good. That would be good.
But yeah, that's I would say pound for pound. That's one of the better ones that was pulled.
That was good.
But
I'm
on
reminded,
the toes.
It wasn't April Fool's joke, but I think the best best prank I ever really pulled. I wasn't necessarily even my idea or my doing. I just jumped in and participated. Was in high school. It was a senior prank, but we staged a full blown pro wrestling chair fight outside of the band hall.
Oh wow!
We had blood pellets and the whole thing.
Oh wow! Everyone got freaked out with
yes, people were panicking. They were screaming everywhere. I got hit in the face with a chair. Hit in the face with a chair. I popped the blood pellet in my mouth. This other dude, enough time has been removed that I can say his name, Pito Mendoza. He was
Statute
involved.
of limitations.
He was involved, and I think he took a chair shot to the face too. But we freaked a bunch of people out. There was the worst part for me was I was just jumping in because I didn't have a senior prank and I just wanted to have a thing.
Right.
But then it was at that moment when I was laying on the ground selling, with blood pouring out of my mouth, that I realized, people actually care about me. There was a girl who, full disclosure, I kind of liked. There was a girl who leaned over me with tears streaming out of her eyes, freaking out, thinking I was hurt.
Did you get a date later?
No. No. What I ended up getting was a week of community service. And
she didn't
suspended.
appreciate the bad boy
She
in
did
you
not.
and
I
not
had to write a note and apologize in front of the entire band hall. It was a whole thing.
I'm sorry, I won't do any more fake wrestling moves.
It was, in fairness, dude. In fairness, it was a really well staged thing. One person had a chair, they threw it at somebody who caught it. Another person ducked it, and then they caught it in the face. It was we set it up pretty well.
So were you a heel or what was your role?
I can't remember. It's been so long. We're literally 20 years out now. But I think I had gone in to stop the fight.
Oh, okay.
And then I ended up taking a shot to the face.
Okay, so you were one of the good guys.
Yeah, well, I was face.
Will you please just all get off? I got it. Yeah. The other reason why today's awesome is it's McDonald's Friday. And a big fine thank you to McDonald's. Sorry, I didn't mean to start drinking your tea, Roy. I did it with my own straw, but he got tea today too.
He got tea too today. Mm-hmm. Did he get sweet tea?
I'm spreading my proclivities onto others. So
yes.
They are now. Next thing you know, we're all gonna start drinking tea in the mornings.
We're just having it's tea time.
That's right. I'm bringing it back.
I feel like we need tiny biscuits,
like the British. I'm bringing it back.
Tiny cookies and scones and whatnot, and a random weird tray. They all have that.
They do.
It's weird.
It is. But visit any of your 3 McDonald's here in Roswell, or if you're in Artesia, visit there, or in Carlsbad as well. And swing on by, download the app for your smartphone. Oh, Szechuan Day.
As of today.
Yeah. Was it today or yesterday?
I think it's yesterday. As of
I think
yesterday.
yesterday was Szechuan Sauce Day.
Matter of fact, yesterday they put out the definitive, Uprocks put out the definitive ranking of all of McDonald's dipping sauces. And they ranked Szechuan sauce number 1.
Wow.
So
I've
I'm not
never
sure,
had Szechuan sauce.
I'm not sure if this has now been added as a permanent sauce on the menu. Say again?
I said I can't imagine why.
Have you ever had it?
Yeah.
It's legit. I mean, it really is good. It's
I've not had
I know, but it was a meme too.
Well, yeah, it was a meme, but it was. They ranked it so high because it had so many different notes to it.
Okay.
It was there's some ginger to it, but it's kind of a soy ginger teriyaki. It kind of hits in different layers.
I got to get one. I got to procure one so I can try it.
I'm genuinely
I wonder if and you can only get it through the app, right?
I think so. That's what they said.
If I remember correctly, you can only get it through the app. So I'm going to take a gander on that app, and I might be getting some nugs for lunch today with some Szechuan sauce.
What upset me was how low they ranked hot mustard.
See, because people sleep on hot mustard.
They do, man.
Hot mustard is the golden secret of the sauces.
It was 5th on the list. There was only,
really?
There was 8 sauces total. It was 5th on the list. And then I found out, I didn't know this. Did you know they discontinued honey mustard? I mean, I wasn't a huge fan of honey mustard.
I never was in on the honey mustard.
But they got rid of it. I like hot mustard more than honey mustard.
I do too. I think that's, and to be honest, I like honey mustard, but not when I have hot mustard. You know what I'm saying? Like, like I go to other places that have nuggets of chicken, and they have a honey mustard dip. That's fine.
Right.
But they don't have a hot mustard dip. So I'm like, well, I can't get that, so I'll get the honey mustard.
And I'll go even further that specifically McDonald's hot mustard is the best in the game. I've had other places hot mustard, and it's not the same.
To be honest, the only other time I ever have hot mustard is like Asian restaurants. Because that's the only other time I ever see hot mustard is in and it's in the soy packs.
Well, I go to I think to ask for it specifically because like when I go to other places that will be mentioned on Friday, I will get their nuggets, which by the way are inferior nuggets, and if they have a hot mustard, it's just not the same. It's just
I didn't even
not
know
the same.
others other than Asian establishments had a hot mustard.
Some do.
I thought they all went honey.
You have to ask for it by name. It's Kevin.
Kevin Mustard. Give me the Kevin Mustard stack.
Captain Mustard. Colonel Mustard.
Keep it coming.
Colonel Kevin Mustard.
I was going to say I was going to get a Coke earlier, and then I decided to get a tea.
All right. Well, good for you.
And Sean, about your wrestling story,
Yeah.
you said you weren't a face or a heel, you were a jobber.
Yeah, at that point I was kind of just coming in to
Kind of a
do the
jabroni.
job.
All right, Iron Sheik.
But what ended up happening was it started out as a work, and then we wanted it to be a shoot. So what ended up happening was we worked ourselves into a shoot, brother.
Oh, jeez.
Go visit McDonald's.
That's really all we're trying to say.
Yes, yeah.
Order it like that too. Can I get a 20-piece with a? And if they say you have to order it through your app, just throw your phone at them.
That's right. I said.
Now, see, if social media existed back then you could have really gone into the work and had like an actual reason for it on why the fight broke out
Start the
on
beef
Facebook.
online and start a feud there.
Yeah,
and
if we'd have thought it through, we'd have built the storyline over the course of like a week. But yeah, we didn't write the story out.
well, for next time.
Yeah.
Next time.
Next time I'm a senior in high school.
In band camp. Yeah, exactly. Visit any of your 3 McDonald's. Thank you very much to them. Go give that Szechuan sauce a try today. Or if you're like, it's Filet-O-Fish season. I'd be like, ain't no wrong with your game. You do you, brother or sister, and enjoy that Filet-O-Fish.
I got to tell you something. I had a double filet the other day.
Yeah, and you loved it, didn't you? It was delightful.
Pretty good.
Yeah, it is.
Here's the thing. I'm so used to ordering 2 fillets. Because right now they got the 2 for $6 deal. So
They do.
I've been ordering the 2 for $6. And it's just I get to that second fillet, I'm like, I'm full, but I still want to enjoy the filet-iness of it all. So
okay, you
I
can say
doubled up my filet on one bun. It was fantastic.
I told you.
Shut up. But it was fantastic.
The bread to meat to ratio is on point with the double fillet of fish.
That fixed it. It really did. It
I'm
really
telling
did.
you. Never question my food
How
judgments.
dare you stand before me and question my superiority?
I'm not good at a lot of things in life, but dang it, I know what works with food sometimes.
Yeah.
And that's, I can't do a lot of things, including, live as an adult in many situations, but I know this.
Function in society? Nah, not my strong suit. But always trust a fat guy when it comes to your food.
That's right. Double filet of fish sandwich. It's a little gift from God.
It really is. I wouldn't even say like a morsel. It's like a meal from Jesus.
That's right. That's absolutely correct.
Baby Jesus.
Let me give you the rundown for today's show. We're going to replay an interview Sean had yesterday with Crystal Noble from the Roswell Humane Society. We'll play that in just a few. In the 8 o'clock hour, about 8:15, Kevin Maver is going to join us, City Development Director, and we're going to talk cannabis. Of course, recreational marijuana is underway in many parts of the state. Here in Roswell, it'll be more like May. He's going to come in and explain why that is.
Hold on.
Yes.
Fun update on that.
Uh-huh.
So I'm hearing rumors. I don't know how much truth there is to this. I need to look it up. But Roswell can't sell.
That's correct.
Today.
That's correct.
They have to go.
That's where Kevin's coming in.
They have to go before like a.
Well, yeah, I think part of it, and Kevin's
it's just Roswell, too.
Yeah, well, here's what I think, and Kevin may explain it, but I think this is what's going on. They've only had 2 businesses apply in Roswell, and they're still in the process of that.
Right.
That's the reason why. There's only been 2, and both are in the middle of it. They're not ready to open yet. I think that's what's going on. So that's why it's going to be May. But Kevin's going to clear all of that up next hour. So
it's gonna be May. I've been dying to do that ever since the meme was like 2 years ago. Okay.
So, but I think that's but Kevin will clear all of that up or correct exactly what I just said right now next hour. So, and then it is the first Friday of April. It's
Indeed.
April Fool's Day, April 1st, a first Friday of April.
We're not fooling.
And we got Main Street. This is for real. We got First Friday this Friday night, tonight. And Molly Boyles will join us from Main Street Roswell, give us the lowdown and the rundown of all what's happening for First Friday.
Sorry, selective hearing.
No, I get it. So, plus we'll have all of your news and features and all of that stuff and whatever else we can come up with for today's show. Before we do any of that, let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Looks pretty good for our weekend. We'll have high pressure parked over eastern New Mexico, so we'll get a few clouds early today, but sunshine through the afternoon. Our highs 80 to 85 and a little bit breezy. Low 40s and clear for the overnight hours, and then we'll stay near 80 for the afternoon high on Saturday and sunny. Sunshine and upper 80s on Sunday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. A lot of Richard Petty right now. And you're like, what are you talking about? You're doing the weather. Just wait. Currently, 43 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 43%. With winds out of the southeast 5 miles per hour. That's why I said Richard Petty Day. So 43 is LSTP. Anyway, half the audience didn't get any of that. The other half are like, oh, that wasn't that good. Just move on, Mike. I will. Sunny today with a high near 80, 79 officially. Winds will be breezy out of the southeast, early 5 to 10. Later shifting out of the northwest, increasing 15 to 20, gusting as high as 30 miles per hour. Later today. Tonight, skies will be clear with an overnight low of 39. Winds will be out of the north 15 to 20, dropping down 5 to 10 after midnight tonight. Then looking at your weekend for you, Saturday, sunny and a high near 81 tomorrow. Winds will be out of the north 5 to 10 early, later shifting to the south, increasing 15 to 20, gusting as high as 30 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, clear skies with an overnight low of 46. South winds 15 to 20. Gusting as high as 30 miles per hour. They'll drop down 5 to 10 after midnight. Sunday, sunny and 87. Closer to 90 than 80 on Sunday. Winds will be calmer out of the south, 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then I'm guessing there's got to be more wind or something Sunday night because Monday, it's mostly sunny and a high of 75, which is still nice, but you're going from 87 to 75. Usually some wind happens when you go from that big a drop or increase in temps, but what do I know? I'm just a dumb DJ. All right, it is 7:23. We're going to take a 2.5-minute commercial break, and then we're going to play our interview Sean actually had with Crystal Noble from the Roswell Humane Society. That's up next. Don't go away.
Hey, all you cats and kitties out there in Radio Land, listen up, because if you're thinking a cruise down Main Street in Artesia sounds like the perfect way to spend a Saturday, well, have I got news for you, because we ain't fooling around. It's the 23rd Annual Main Event Car Show and Cruise, coming up Friday and Saturday, April 1st and 2nd in downtown Artesia. Kicking things off on Friday, April 1st with a parade and cruise down Main Street at 6 p.m. Then come out for a stroll through Heritage Plaza Saturday starting at 9 to see amazing cars from all decades lined up for you to view. Classic cars to antique trucks and even some tractors. There'll be something for everybody. Best of all, spectators are free. For more information or to sign up, call the Artesia Chamber of Commerce at 575-746-2744. That's 575-746-2744, or go online to artesiachamber.com. Don't miss the 23rd Annual Main Event Car Show and Cruise, Friday and Saturday, April 1st and 2nd in downtown Artesia. Paid for by Artesia Lodgers Tax.
If you're a person who has more to do than you have hours in your day, and everything seems to take priority over your own health, then you're going to love the Loveless MyChart Secure Patient Portal. You can message your doctor, make an appointment, or view lab results anytime, day or night, on your computer or smartphone. Print a list of your medications at the click of a mouse, or even compare previous tests to map your health progress. Loveless MyChart connects you to better health, anywhere, anytime.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too, and that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. But our part-time service in the Army National Guard means we get to be more. When our communities are in need, we get the chance to stand up and do something about it. We get to serve in our own region and help the people we call neighbors. Whether they are in the mountains of New Mexico, the plains of Nebraska and Kansas, the ranches of Oklahoma and Texas, the farmlands of Missouri and Arkansas, or the bayous of Louisiana, we are here for our hometowns. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the New Mexico Army National Guard. Aired by the New Mexico Broadcasters Association and this station.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Elephants use these skin folds on their bodies to crush mosquitoes. Mike Winters uses his to hide M&Ms. Here's Mike Winters.
16 minutes after 9 o'clock, Sean Smalls filling in for Mixmaster Mike Winters. And joining me in studio this morning is Mrs. Crystal Noble from the Roswell Humane Society. How are you doing this morning?
I am good.
Good.
How are you?
It's been an interesting morning so far. It's been a fun ride, but Mixmaster Mike hopefully will be back in the captain's chair tomorrow and everything back as it should be. And all woo-saw. So spring has sprung in southeastern New Mexico. Temps warming up. Folks are getting back outside. The pandemic is starting to ease off, so we're starting to kind of get back out into the public.
Do normal things.
And we're taking along our animals with us too, so gotta love that. Gotta love getting back out there for the springtime season.
Yeah, I laughed. So we pick up like the cardboard flats from various places in town because we use those as litter boxes. So we, like, if they make a mess, we just throw the box away.
Sure.
And then put a new box. Well, I laugh because one of the places we pick up is Variety on 2nd Street. Well, I pull up to pick up boxes yesterday and I hear dogs barking. And I laugh because, there's somebody inside getting their alcohol.
Right.
And took their dogs with them so they could go get them a puppy cone because they got their treat as their beer and their dogs are going to get their puppy cone.
Heck yeah.
I laughed. I was like, your dogs are in the car. They're like, oh, yeah. He goes, I'm just picking up my beer and then I'm going to get them ice cream. I was like, all right.
A treat for me, a treat for him. Nice.
Yeah.
It's awesome, though. Yeah, but yeah, people are starting to kind of get out and get social again. It's just really nice to see. And so you guys are obviously busy over at the Humane Society.
It is. It's very busy. We got a lot of people coming in for vouchers, trying to get their animals fixed.
God, I gotta do
that. Yeah, you got a boy kitty.
So Tony has taken to spraying. Did I tell you the Ballad of Tony?
No.
So Tony, my youngest, he's a tuxedo. He got out about, we'll call it 2.5 weeks ago.
Oh no.
For like 3 days. Okay. There was a kitty outside that's been heating, and
Sir Tony made babies.
He sowed some wild oats, but he found his way back inside, and I've been militant on the front door ever since, making sure that he stays away. But yeah, he's yet to be fixed, and the the spraying has really become an issue.
Yeah, come see me. I'll help you.
Thanks. Appreciate that. I'll hit you up. But yes, vouchers are available.
Yes. Any day we're open, 9 to 12, 1 to 4:30, which is Tuesday through Saturday. Bring your ID down as long as you're not already in the system. Give you a couple vouchers. They pay $150 towards a spay or neuter. If it goes over, you cover the difference. But you must be a Travis County resident.
Right. And there's a place here in town, I can't remember the name of the place, but I saw a sign that does $50 spay and neuter.
That is the spay neuter clinic, which is only once a month.
Okay, it was only the once a month. I just saw the sign on Facebook. I wasn't sure.
Yeah, so that is Fora. They've got a group coming from Colorado. They're working together on doing a spay neuter clinic where like feral cats are free. Cats are one set price and dogs are one set price, but they're only here for once a week, and they're already completely booked for April and May.
Oh, good.
So the vouchers that we hand out are for any of the local vets here in town. If it's a cat, depending on male or female, the majority of the time, the $150 covers it.
Yeah, I would assume, unless there's complications.
Yeah, and then like the small dogs, male, females, the $150 typically covers it.
Okay.
Larger dogs, you're going to have a little bit of a difference, but for the most part, the vets are pretty good about helping people when they're using the voucher.
Sure. Now, are you guys seeing, I'm just curious, are you guys seeing an increase in say, for example, more dogs showing up, more kitties showing up? Because, folks are starting to kind of transition into the new season.
So right now, our main issue is a lot of people are owner releasing their larger animals because the cost of food has almost doubled.
Yeah.
And, I have 2 large dogs, and their bag of dog food used to be $38, and it's now $58. The size didn't change.
Right.
None of the ingredients changed.
Their appetite didn't change.
Nope. And one of my dogs gets 14 cups a day.
Holy moly.
Uh-huh. So that 45-pound bag lasts me 9 days.
Oh.
That's $60 every 9 days.
Yeah, that's a financial commitment at this point. I mean,
and a lot of people, they just can't afford it.
Sure.
And I understand, because that's one thing we deal with,
on a consistent basis, which thank God for donations, because I mean, you'd be in so much trouble if it weren't for the kindness of the donations.
Right. And, luckily, we're able to feed a middle quality food where it's, not the most expensive, but it's not, your Dollar Tree dirt cheap stuff that causes intestinal issues.
Exactly.
But we do the best that we can. I know the pet pantry is doing as much as they can to help give people food to donate so they don't have to rehome their animals. But unfortunately, the cost of everything that's going up, everybody's just in a bind.
Yeah, exactly. We're over a barrel. It's the mindset of stagflation. Inflation, or prices are going up, but we're not seeing an increase in pay and incentives. So we're sort of stuck. Yeah, and that leaves folks like the Humane Society in a rough position, because obviously you guys still have to maintain your day-to-day operations, still have to feed the animals, still have to keep people employed, and it's just a challenge on every front.
And we still have a position open. We can't get anybody to want to work. Right. So the people that are there working are working extra because we're short.
Right. And then the fatigue sets in, it becomes an issue. So yeah, folks, if you're out there looking for work, they're still looking for somebody at the Humane Society, and they could definitely use the assistance. But
it would be greatly appreciated.
Absolutely.
I'd enjoy a day off here and there.
I'm sure you would.
Yeah. It'd be a little bit nice to, sleep in once in a while.
Not to mention, it's such a cool incentive of the job. You get to hang out with, puppies and kitties all day.
And like one of the things, and this is a conversation I just recently had with my husband. So we have Denim and Yin Yang. They've been with us since January 21st of 2021.
Okay.
Yesterday, I got them situated finally for them to go to a rescue group in Washington.
Wow.
So they got to leave out at 5 o'clock this morning.
Okay.
15, almost 16 months. They were with us for 465 days. Man. You grow an attachment to these animals after 7 to 10 days.
Right.
So being able to know that these two are going to get to go somewhere to a good home, it's rewarding.
Yeah, it's like watching your kids go to college.
Yeah.
Yeah. They came out the program on the other side, and they found themselves a new forever home. That's
so, and then we had a dog that was owner released, and she was okay when she first came in, and then about 20 minutes after being there, she decided she didn't like it and wanted to eat everybody. And unfortunately, we have to watch for that because that's a liability.
Right.
But after, us showing her that, we're not going to hurt her. Nobody there's there to hurt her. Everybody there loves her. She's a big old she's like a 120-pound lap dog right now. But seeing, where she was so scared of everybody that she would just pee herself.
Right.
And then now when she sees everybody, she still tinkles, but it's happy tinkle. It's not a terrified release.
I get it. I do that. So no, but that's the thing is, you got to think about it from the perspective of these, these owner released dogs. Yeah, the financial commitment is a lot to you, the owner. But think about it from the perspective of, of your dog or your, in this case, mostly dog, that goes from having a comfortable existence, consistent food, consistent love, attention, to being in a cage next to another animal that's barking. The smells are weird, and everybody most people know that smell is everything to a dog. And the smell of a kennel is completely different from any of the smells they've ever experienced. That's how they process everything.
We smell like a vet's office, you know. And a lot of dogs that have been to the vet resemble, like the smell as like, oh, I'm going to get a shot today. Okay, well, yes, they're getting a shot today because when they come to me, they get shots. But like they just resemble us with like a boarding facility or like a veterinarian's office. It all smells the same. The cleaning chemicals, the other dogs, the cats.
A lot of I've noticed the smell for me specifically is I think it's like the topicals that get used, like the combat stuff like that. That specific smell of that stuff is the sense memory I attach to the vet, kennels, places like that.
Yeah.
It's a tough one to get past.
And so luckily we don't have to use topicals anymore. We have chewables.
Nice.
So that's one less smell they have to smell.
Sweet.
No more dip tanks, dunking dogs in dip tanks. It's a nice little sweet chewy beef chew, and typically they all really like it.
Nice.
Very
cool.
So we don't have to worry about, applying anything on them and then worried about like skin issues because they have a reaction to it. We've gone to the next guard.
Look at that.
Where it's, a chew treat and bye-bye fleas, bye-bye ticks.
Flea control technology. It's come so far.
It really has.
That's amazing.
They have another one out. It's Brevecto, and I think that one is supposed to last 3 months.
Okay.
And then the next guards are once a month, but they're made from all natural, ironically, seaweed.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Neat.
And then something else from the ocean that just repels and kills fleas and ticks. Wow. Obviously, they don't live in the ocean or water, so...
I would think the oxygen was an issue for fleas and ticks, although I don't know what. I've never tried to drown a flea, so I'm not sure how long... Oh, well, yeah. I'm trying to figure out how long you have to hold his flea head underwater before the bubbles stopped.
Ironically,
little tiny bubbles.
Because they live in ground, when it rains, the water doesn't affect them.
Really?
The only thing that will drown them is like alcohol-based because it pulls the oxygen from their lungs.
Nice. So ticks ruin their lives the same way most modern Americans do. Alcohol. Good to know. So,
yep.
Now that springtime is here, now that it's warmer out during the day, folks leaving their pets outside throughout the day, the work day, whatever. What are some tips and tricks you would give to some pet parents if they're leaving their pooches outside for a longer period of time?
So if they're outside, right now our weather is pretty mild, minus the wind.
Right.
But just make sure they have adequate shelter at all times. Make sure if, the weather does change that they have somewhere to get in to get out of the elements. Make sure they got shade, because sometimes, 70-degree days on a hot, sunny day, can feel a lot hotter.
It was 74 the other day, and I was at a remote, and I got a sunburn. So it doesn't necessarily matter how warm or cold it is.
Sunburnt in the cloudy weather.
Right.
I'm so white.
No.
But, and if you have white dogs, remember, they will sunburn. Buy the baby suntan lotion, the SPF 1 million, whatever it is.
Right.
And put that on your white dogs because they will sunburn.
That's something that you don't really think about, is because, they got the fur coat. You never think about a sunburn on a dog. But yeah, the lighter colored fur, that doesn't do anything to repel
Make
the sun.
sure to put it around their nose and then rub it on the tops and the bottoms of their eyes so it repels the sun from their eyes, because dogs that don't have any color pigmentation around their face,
right,
the sun just beats at their eyes because they don't have any repelling.
It's like when you walk around on a sunny, snow-covered after, like if it's snowed after like a long time and then it's sunny out, that can give you snow blindness, essentially.
Right.
Because of the white on the sun.
Right. So that's typically what happens with all white animals, and then they're typically deaf because they have no color pigmentation to absorb the sound.
Actually, it's literally making my eyes itch thinking about this. I can't even explain it.
But
sorry.
Fresh water, make sure their water's fresh every day.
Sure.
Shelter, shaded area. And if they're all white, sunblock.
Sunblock, yeah. Very cool.
Some toys to play with, give them some mind toys. They've got the treat teasers where you fill it full of treats, but the dog actually has to bang the treat around or the toy around in a certain way to get a treat to extract.
Like solving a puzzle almost.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Expanding the elasticity of your dog's brain. I like it.
And that, that keeps their brain occupied so that way they're not tearing up stuff.
Yeah.
They're toying.
They're playing with toys. Yeah, they're gaming at that point. That's really cool.
Gaming for dogs.
Yeah, gaming, exactly. Gaming for pups. Very cool. So walk us through the process. We do this, we talk about this pretty much every time, but let's go through the process of the adoption.
So when you want to adopt a cat, the cats are strictly indoors only.
Right.
If there are children in the household, we do require meet and greets with the children. Other family members that live in the household. So we basically require everybody that lives in the household to be present for a meet and greet to make sure that that animal gets along with everybody in the family and everybody in the family is okay with the animal. Once the meet and greets are done, if there are kids in the house, as long as, there's no issues, the adopters are responsible to prepay for the spay or neuter, rabies vaccination, and microchip with the local vet.
Right.
And then our adoption fee is $50. We will deliver them to the vet for their spay-neuter appointment, and then you pick them up from the vet.
So you just pick them up right from the vet, taken care of?
Yeah, right after the surgery, so that way they are basically looking at you as the rescuer. Like, those mean people took me and they did bad things to me, and you're taking me home.
And you came in to save me. You swooped in and saved me like a knight in shining armor.
The dogs are pretty much similar. If you have other dogs, we require the meet and greets with the other dogs. Same kids, household, family members, everybody that lives in the household required for the meet and greets.
Right.
But then we do go check your yard to make sure that there's nowhere for that dog to get out of your yard. So if the dog is outside, he has free roam and is not being chained up or tied up.
Right. And that's something that, you guys notice things that the normal, layman's eye wouldn't notice, like spots that could become deeper holes.
Right.
Areas that maybe the fence is in a little disrepair that could become a hole in the fence later on down the road. You guys can see that and say, well, maybe just take care of this and then we'll be good.
Right. And then, like if we do see issues, we'll tell you, okay, so right now in this state, it does not qualify. This is what needs to happen to fix it. And if you want to fix it, we'll give you X amount of time to fix it. If you don't want to fix it, well, then you don't qualify for this adoption.
Sure.
And a lot of people don't realize we're not just a pick and go. You don't walk in, pick your animal and go.
Right.
You have to qualify for an adoption.
We're placing animals in homes. You're not a shop.
If we feel that, it's not a good fit, we're going to say no. And we have the right to say no because we have their lives in our hands.
Right.
So if we don't feel it's a good match, we're just going to say no.
And I'd imagine when you deal with it on a consistent basis like the way you do, you guys can just read people. You can read situations pretty much from the get-go.
A lot of the times people can walk in the front door and I can just already know. Just by the look. And I'm like, okay, I know how this is going to go today.
Right.
And then, sometimes you get the one person that walks in there that you think, oh, my God. And then you start talking to them and you're like, oh, my God.
Right.
The tones change in the words.
But looks can be deceiving, but sometimes, the eye don't lie.
Right. But there's a lot of people, that they don't realize, it is a process that we go through. And we go through it for a reason. And it's to make sure that we are putting these animals in the best home that they can get into so they're not being returned to a shelter.
Exactly.
Because
recidivism isn't fun for humans or for animals.
No, because one, that animal does not understand why it's in the shelter in the first place.
Right. What did I do wrong to end up here?
And then if it goes home and then comes back, that makes that animal a little bit more challenging to adopt because they revert in their friendliness. They become, withdrawn and, require more patience where not everybody's going to look and want that.
Sure.
The majority of the people, they want the happy, friendly puppy. They want the cat and kitten that's running around your feet purring and jumping all over the place. They don't want the shy ones.
Right.
So when you put an animal back into that position, it does mentally do some damage to them.
If you think about it, when an animal goes into a shelter for the first time, it's a shocking situation. They don't know what to think. When an animal goes into a shelter for a second or third time, they realize, oh, I'm disposable. I could just be thrown away at the whims of whoever takes me in. And they're not going to be as open or reticent to want to build a relationship with the next owner.
Right. They're not going to want to bond because they're just going to be like, how long is it going to be this time?
Right. Exactly.
So
it's like a scorned woman. If I could draw a correlation.
Yeah.
But yeah, so take these things in mind, folks, before you adopt. You're not shopping for a gift. You're bringing a family member home.
Right.
That's what it's all about.
You know,
Switch over to that. For some reason, that mic just went completely dead.
How's that?
There we go.
Okay.
That was weird.
All right.
Let's
try this.
Let's do that. All right.
So if you have a family member that is looking for a pet and you want to help them, if you want to pay for it, by all means necessary. If you want to take that road and help them that way, but your family member has to be the one to pick the animal.
Sure.
They have to be the ones to qualify. You cannot just come in, pick an animal, and take it to them and say surprise.
Yeah.
They have to be willing to commit to the lifetime commitment that it takes for that animal. And, bigger dogs don't live as long, but, cats and little dogs, they live up to 20 some odd years. So a lot of people might not be wanting a commitment for 20 some odd years.
Exactly. Just remember, folks, these aren't, like we said, these are family members, not presents. And when you adopt an animal for a child, the excitement and newness of a puppy is going to wear off. Then the responsibility comes into play. And that's when the road gets a little harder. Are you going to put up or are you going to, shut up? That's what it comes down to.
Pretty much, and, the people that come in, I want my kid to be responsible and teach my kid responsibilities. That's fine. But in the long run, you are 100% responsible for that animal because you are the adult.
Right.
You are the guardian of not only that animal, but your children. Mm-hmm. So it is your job to oversee that they are doing what needs to be done.
Right. And much in the same way as children, pets need to be fed at least once a day. It's very important. I've found, or else they get very loud and obnoxious. So on the other side of things, over the thrift store.
At the thrift store. So we are going to be having some remodeling in our book room coming up soon. So right now they're doing a brown bag book sale.
Nice.
Cookbooks only.
Okay.
Because that's what we have a plethora of. And I mean plethora, like we could fill this entire room twice.
Everybody's got their own take on like meatloaf. So you got to write a whole book around like, your own recipe.
You know what's funny? The one book I keep seeing the most, 1,000 Ways to Cook Ramen Noodles.
Really?
There's like a bajillion of those books. And they're never the same, but they all have something similar. Mm-hmm. Beef or chicken ramen noodles.
Right.
Those are the only two flavors. They don't have the Asian. They don't have the shrimp. Nothing. Just chicken or beef.
Huh. Well, I guess they know they're working with people who are using a ramen noodles cookbook. Probably have a limited palate to begin with. But yeah, I used to do the ramen cookery thing, and that's exciting.
So we have the brown bags there.
Cool.
And then if you fill it up as full as you can fit it with cookbooks, $5.
Really?
Yep.
Okay. So you could totally change your culinary game for $5.
You could. Seriously, absolutely. Because they've got like the real high-tech, filet mignon and grand poupon, whatever, to the ramen noodle cookbook.
Right.
So there's a huge variety of cookbooks. They do have a ton of DVDs, a ton of CDs.
Very cool.
I believe the CDs are like 50 cents a piece and the DVDs are $1 or $2 a piece.
Nice.
They are starting to put out clothes for Easter. They got a ton of Easter dresses for little girls. Little outfits for the boys, a lot of ladies' dresses. They are going to start putting out their Easter items soon, so like Easter baskets and the little fake grass and the eggs, all that's about to be coming out. I think they're going to work on that this weekend, so it'll be out fresh at the beginning of next week.
Okay.
And then they've got a ton of dress shoes, men, women, and kids.
Really? I'm in the market for some new shoes, actually, so I will keep that in mind for sure. You guys always have a ton of great stuff. And what I love about the thrift store is y'all work so hard to make sure that the seasonal thing is always, right there front and center. you don't let things stagnate. So often you walk into a thrift store, it's kind of like, well, these items have been on a shelf for like, a year or two. You guys, there's always something new when you walk into the thrift store. It is. Really cool.
And so one thing that they've recently started doing is, I'm not going to say like recycling, but like they'll move stuff around.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's set on this rack for a week and nobody bought it, when they're going through like restocking, they'll pull it off and they'll put it on another rack.
Okay.
To see if, somebody will find it on this rack.
Right.
And then they're just continuously putting out new stuff, moving stuff around, keeping stuff situated to where it's nice and easy to shop.
Sure.
The back room, they've got some new shelving units that were donated to where it's a really, really nicely organized. They're actually old shoe racks from the old Payless down here.
Right.
But they put them together and made rows so that way, they could fit like, little plastic containers where it's got spoons, forks, knives. So it's not all just thrown in one little container.
Nice.
So it's all separated, you got spatulas, barbecue stuff, the tongs, they've got it all on the shelving unit. So that way you could just walk through and say, oh, hey, I need a few spoons, and not have to dig through the big container to find a spoon or two.
Right. I had a Keurig coffee maker literally explode on me about 3 months ago.
Oh, no.
I'm scared to get a new coffee maker because of it. It's got me like shell shocked. I'm like, I don't know if I want a coffee at home anymore. I'm just going to go out. I'm just going to go to Starbucks. But you guys have, obviously, Keurigs. You guys have coffee makers.
They get a ton of those, a ton of them. And what's funny is, like, the coffee pot that I have at home, because we moved from our big house to a tiny home, our normal coffee pot didn't fit on the counter in the tiny home. So I was like, crap, I need a smaller coffee pot because there is no way I'm going to work in the morning without at least a few sips of coffee because everybody will die.
Oh, yeah. Makes sense.
So I go over to the thrift store and I tell Camille, I go, I need a tiny coffee pot for my tiny home. So she's like, here's a little coffee pot. And I go, okay, I need something a little bit bigger and not that tiny. I go, because that's not even enough
That's a me cup.
Well, that's not even enough to get the day going.
Right.
So she's like, okay, there's some over here. So at any given time, like I can say, oh, hey, I need something, and she will have, if not that item I need, something close enough to get me by.
Right.
And I'm a Tupperware fanatic.
Dude, same.
I love it.
Versatile. It's great. It's incredible.
And, I like the glass bottoms with the plastic lids, and they've got to stack together and organize. 90% of my Tupperware has come from the thrift store.
Really?
Mm-hmm, because people will get them as gifts and give them. And then they're like, oh, they don't fit with my kitchen decor, and then donate them brand new in the box.
I love people that adhere to kitchen decor because people like me who could give a crap, we come out on the other side winning. Because most of my Tupperware comes from Cool Whip. If I'm being honest. Cool Whip, can't believe it's not butter, Parquet.
So that, and my husband laughs because before we got married, when I had my house, he had his house, I had like a china hutch and a half full of like just kitchenware, like Tupperware. But then on this side, like if I make something that I'm going to give to somebody, I have like the butter containers that it goes in. So that way, hey, if you don't return this, I'm not going to be mad and haunting you.
Not gonna break my heart if you don't return my I can't believe it's not butter container.
Yep. Well, and then I started being sarcastic and I told him, I go, hey, because I would take him lunch. I go, hey, where's my containers? And he goes, I was supposed to keep those? And I was like, no, I'm kidding.
Right. Well, we laugh, but growing up, and this is, I don't know if you had this growing up, I think it was Bama Jelly had the jars with like the designs on the sides. We had a set of those jelly jar cups, glasses growing up. And every kid I talked to from that age had those glasses.
Yeah, and it's, that's what, you finish the jelly, and then that's what you would use to get milk, tea, whatever in. You did not throw those away. My grandpa made those into his shop, like with the screw lids.
Oh, yeah.
He had a rack in his shop that he would nail the lids to, and then he would fill those jars with like this type of nail, that type of screw, and then he would just screw it up.
That's genius. That's a life hack before life hacks were a thing. That's awesome.
And then he would do the same thing with like mason jars. And then my grandma had like the old milk jugs, like jars where they would deliver them at your front door.
Right.
My grandma would still use those. She'd go to the store and buy milk, but then she'd put it in that glass jar.
Which, you got to think milk tastes better coming out of a glass bottle. If Coke tastes so much better coming out of a glass bottle, milk has to also, right?
So does beer, by the way.
You're not wrong. You are not wrong. You are not wrong. So we're veering off topic, obviously, but yeah, the thrift store has lots of
they do
cool items
and kitchen stuff galore. You know, so if you love kitchen stuff,
right,
that's the place to go.
It's gotta be tough for you though. I mean, having such limited space now. In your new spot.
It really is. My husband. Okay, so a lot of my kitchen stuff is packed because our oven is not a full size oven.
Right.
So the other day I was like, oh, I was going to make garlic toast. And I was like, oh my God, where's my kitchen stuff? And he goes, in a tote. And I was like, all right, you know, whatever. So I pull out aluminum foil and he's like, what are you doing? I was like, I am making my own cookie sheet. So I made it out of aluminum foil, threw the toast on it, threw it in the oven. And he goes, all right. And I go, I'm getting my stuff out of the tote. So I was like, I just have to figure out which tote it's in.
Yeah, that's the problem is I don't label anything. So it's like,
well, I typically do, but this time I labeled it just kitchen instead of like pots and pans kitchen. It just kitchen.
Just kitchen. Yeah. So that presents a problem when all your stuff is kitchen
I had 4
stuff.
totes of spices. I was like, oh my God.
So I just did a spice like wipe, got rid of all my spices, and I don't want to get rid of them because they're still semi-good. So I put them in a tote, and literally the stuff on my spice rack filled an entire 20-gallon tote. Like, I have a problem. I'm addicted to flavor.
And you know me, because my husband, is a diabetic, keto diet.
Yep.
You've got to season things to make them taste good because when you eat the same thing repetitively, you get burnt out on it.
That's where I actually learned about seasoning was from keto.
So
does he do Crack's Law?
Who?
The Crack's Law. Oh, I'm about to change his life. I'm gonna give you a keto recipe it was my go-to, and I would maybe 3 times a week have this. It is the best. They call it egg roll in a bowl too.
Okay.
But it's basically everything you put in an egg roll, just without the wrapping.
Okay.
It's so good. And they call it Crack's Law because you mix in a whole bag of coleslaw mix.
Okay.
Into it sucks up the fat from the hamburger. We are so off topic here, but I'll get to that recipe.
Well, yes, because I can only, my brain, when I go to the grocery store, I'm like, oh crap, carb.
It has gotten better in the recent couple of years, though.
But
say that.
Even funnier, the last cookbook. Okay, and so I went just to go look at the books.
Mm-hmm.
I found a keto bread cookbook at the thrift store.
A bread cookbook?
A bread cookbook.
Really?
It's got sourdough bread in there, 4 grams of carbs.
How?
I will send you the pitures.
Please do, because
yeah. And I was like, hey, keto cookbook. And my boss that was, stacking the books, she goes, oh yeah. She goes, your husband, John, he's on the keto. And I go, well, we both are. So she hands it to me and I was flipping through and I was like, oh my God, it's got sourdough bread in here. And I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. There was 3 or 4 more of them that were keto for something else. But I was like, I just want the bread cookbook because I can keto everything else myself.
That was the biggest problem when I was keto was what do I do about bread?
Yeah. So I
tried the cloud bread. It was trash. I tried all the the Keto Connect bread that Matt and Mega showed how to make. That's just garbage. It just tastes eggy.
Yeah, I've tried the whole, egg full to make it, the hamburger in between the egg fulls.
Yeah.
Crisping cheese, making the cheese shell taco, and it's all fine and dandy, but you can only eat so much cheese without it affecting you in other ways.
Mm-hmm. And all that oil, you just
yeah.
You just feel weighted down. I think the point we're really getting at here is visit the thrift store.
Yes.
At the Humane Society.
Because you can see all this fun stuff.
That's right.
We're just having a simple conversation about, one single cookbook.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine what kind of conversations you can have, if you go to a potluck now that COVID's pretty much over.
Right.
And you take something to somebody, you can say, oh, I got this cookbook at the Humane Society.
Right.
And this is how I made it. Trust me. They've got a ton of cookbooks. We've got a ton.
I'm intrigued. I'm definitely intrigued. So yeah, stop by the thrift store and the Humane Society also. Let us have the hours.
Thrift store is Wednesday through Saturday, 10 to 4:30.
Okay.
And then the kennels are Tuesday through Saturday, 9 to 12 and 1 to 4:30.
Gotcha.
If you want to schedule for a drop off for donations, call Camille at the thrift store, and that's 623-9210.
Okay.
If you want to inquire about the voucher program or any available pets, call down to the kennels, and that's 622-8950.
There you go. Are you guys still doing volunteers for dog walkers in the morning?
We are. And now that the weather is semi-nice, we're doing AM and PM.
Gotcha.
So we're just kind of scheduling them so that way, we don't have, multiple people. And then if there's an issue with the dogs not liking each other, they're not having problems.
Sure.
So, but call us. We'll get you on the schedule to come in, help us out because, they need the exercise.
Absolutely. Very good. Well, folks, get on with the Humane Society. They've got lots and lots of awesome items in the thrift store and some feline and canines that definitely want to find a forever home.
Yes.
Let's help out. Miss Crystal, thank you so much for your time, and we'll see you back here 2 times next month.
Yes.
Absolutely. Thanks again.
Thank you.
12 away from 10 o'clock. Let's pause. Absolutely. Thanks again.
Thank you.
12 away from 10 o'clock.
Finally, a return to normal prom season. And Roswell's most unique boutique has something special for you early birdies with the Hippie Chicks Early Bird Tux Rental Drawing. Simply rent your tux by April 1st and you'll be entered into an exclusive drawing for a $100 Peppers gift card. And with lots of styles to choose from, you can't lose. Open Monday through Saturday at 10 a.m. at 802 South Main in Roswell. Look for the lime green VW Bug or call 575-627-3868. And find Shop Hippie Chicks on Facebook to see it all. Hippie Chicks, Roswell's prom powerhouse.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Looks pretty good for our weekend. We'll have high pressure parked over eastern New Mexico, so we'll get a few clouds early today, but sunshine through the afternoon. Our highs 80 to 85 and a little bit breezy. Low 40s and clear for the overnight hours, and then we'll stay near 80 for the afternoon high on Saturday and sunny. Sunshine and upper 80s on Sunday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
On air and online, this is Roswell's home for talk radio. KEND Roswell.
Despite fierce headwinds generated by sky-high inflation, war, and COVID, America's employers hired 431,000 people last month, dropping the nation's unemployment rate to 3.6%, a pandemic low. A drop in the bucket. That's how Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell is describing President Biden's decision to tap the nation's strategic petroleum reserve in a bid to lower prices at the pump.
President Biden is going to try to slap another Band-Aid on gas prices by draining more oil out of the strategic petroleum reserve.
Mr. Biden ordering the release of 1 million barrels per day for 6 months. And the impact on prices?
Unknown at this point.
But Mr. Biden says he hopes that prices will drop perhaps 10 cents to 35 cents a gallon. AAA says gas currently averages $4.23 a gallon. That's almost $1.50 higher than a year ago. Another black eye for the Russians in Ukraine. Putin's troops have, according to the Ukrainians, seized food supplies intended for civilians in Mariupol.
The Ukrainian government says the forces blocked 45 buses that had been sent to evacuate civilians from the besieged port city of Mariupol, and only 631 people were able to get out of the city in private cars. Deputy Prime Minister Irina Vereshchuk added late Thursday that 12 Ukrainian buses with humanitarian aid had left Melitopol for Mariupol, but the Russian forces had stopped them, seizing the 14 tons of food and medicines on board. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
Russian troops who had been digging trenches on the highly contaminated Chernobyl nuclear site in Ukraine have had to withdraw following exposure to high levels of radiation. Wall Street, the Dow up 81 points, NASDAQ ahead 13 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Hey, I'm Andy. If you don't know me, it's probably because I'm not famous. But I did start a men's grooming company called Harry's. The idea for Harry's came out of a frustrating experience I had buying razor blades. Most brands were overpriced, overdesigned, and out of touch. At Harry's, our approach is simple. Here's our secret. We make sharp, durable blades and sell them at honest prices for as low as $2 each. We care about quality so much that we do some crazy things, like buy a world-class German blade factory. Obsessing over every detail means we're confident in offering a 100% quality guarantee. Millions of guys have already made the switch to Harry's, so thank you if you're one of them. And if you're not, we hope you give us a try with this special offer. Get a Harry starter set with a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, shave gel, and a travel cover, all for just $3 plus free shipping. Just go to harrys.com and enter 3377 at checkout. That's harrys.com, code 3377. Enjoy.
Looking to counter international fears over its new security alliance with China, the Solomon Islands says it will not allow China to build a military base there. But that insistence will do little to ease concerns about the pact from the nation's traditional partners, including New Zealand, Australia, and the U.S. the leader of neighboring Micronesia, adding his voice to those expressing trepidation by invoking the bloody battles of World War II, warning that the pact could once again see the South Pacific region become a battleground for much larger powers. Inflation in Europe has soared to another record, a fresh sign that rising energy prices fueled by the war in Ukraine are squeezing consumers and adding pressure on the central bank to raise interest rates. Consumer prices in the 19 countries that use the euro currency rose by an annual rate of 7.5% last month, according to Eurostat. News and analysis, townhall.com. Coins are in short supply again.
Retailers, laundromats, and other businesses that rely on coins want Americans to empty their piggy banks and look under couch cushions for extra change and get coins moving. A group of trade associations representing individual businesses, including banks, retail outlets, truck stops, grocery stores, and more, asking the Treasury Department for more help convincing Americans to get coins back in circulation. The consequence of the circulation slowdown hits people who don't have an ability to pay for items electronically. Rhonda Rockster reporting.
Another state legalizes the sale of marijuana for recreational use. New Mexico, the 18th state to do so, with anyone 21 and older allowed to purchase up to 2 ounces of the drug. And once again on Wall Street this hour, the Dow trading 32 points higher, while the NASDAQ Composite Index is down 3 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. Leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
The Deuce.
Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy April 1st.
Yeah.
Dia de la April Fools.
April Fool's Day.
Yeah. So Sean decided.
Well, it's okay. I decided because it's April Fool's Day, we really don't have anything planned. And I've been flaking on this whole Super Bowl thing for a while. Yeah, we had a Super Bowl bet that I never paid out on. So I thought, in honor of that today, and I'm doing this on TikTok as well, why not break out the world's hottest chocolate bar?
Which, by the way, this has been sitting in that package for well over a year.
It's more than a year expired. Yeah, it's actually,
Lord knows how long it was sitting in that before it came to us.
I want to say January of 21 is when it expired, but
wow.
Yeah.
So is it going to be hotter? You think?
I'd imagine.
You're not eating the whole.
Oh no!
You're just eating a little square,
I'm
right?
just gonna eat it. Yeah.
See, it's a chocolate bar that's about the size. I'm gonna say total chocolate capacity maybe 1.5 Hershey Kisses.
Right.
And so it's broken into what is it 9 squares?
9 squares.
Yeah.
But they say that the stuff they use in it, the extract, is 9 million. Hang on, let me get this on TikTok.
Yeah.
It's 9 million Scoville units.
All right.
So, all right.
Does it smell?
All right, so hang on. I'm just getting one square here. Luckily, it did break off into a nice square.
It does look like it's coming apart easily.
Okay, so
does it feel like chocolate? Does it?
It smells like chocolate. It feels like chocolate.
Okay.
Here goes nothing.
All right. There's no water by here anymore.
No, there's not. Oh crap!
Is it getting hot?
Instantly. Oh my god!
It's hot.
Oh
he's
my
turning
god.
red.
Oh my god!
Yeah, he's turning red.
Oh my god!
He's turning red.
We need to do the Packy one chip challenge.
Oh, we did that.
Oh, did you?
Oh, yeah. I did. Sean wasn't involved with that.
Oh my God. Okay.
All right. You good?
I'm just not going to cuss.
So what's it, does it taste like chocolate before it got hot?
At first, yeah. At first it did.
He needs some milk.
Yeah, I actually do,
Yeah, why don't you go?
Why didn't I bring water with me?
I'm about to say, you just walked in here and did it. That's probably not smart.
I thought I was prepared because I had my phone ready to do the TikTok. Oh, my God.
He wanted to put it on the gram, but he didn't worry about getting the milk in him.
It's not going away.
That's the idea.
Thank you.
Hot coffee, that'll do it.
Oh, yeah, that helps. Oh, my God. It's not getting better.
Oh, I'm sorry to laugh at your pain, but this is pretty funny. Needless to say, you don't want seconds, I take it.
Nope.
He's shaking, folks. He's like shaking. It's almost like Chris Rock in New Jack City, where he's trying to get his fix and he's got a turkey, and now he's running. Yeah, he's not happy.
You need anything like a?
Go get you some drink on.
Yeah.
Go suck on an ice cube or.
Happy April Fool's Day, everybody.
Hey, there might be some old ice cream in the freezer. You're welcome. Sorry, I can't stop.
I'll just fill in for him since he's out of commission.
To be honest, I didn't know that was going to go down. He just walked in here and was like, "It's April Fool's Day. You ready?" I was like, "You lost the bet. I'm not eating it." And he goes, "Come on, take one with me." I said, "Not today." So there he goes.
And he just popped it in.
He did. They've been sitting here for like a year plus.
I told him it could be like diluted or dissipated after like a year.
I hope he was smart enough to voice track his 8 o'clock hour on his other show, because he might be a little unavailable right now. Oh, man. All right. Well, happy April Fool's Day, everybody. Happy Friday. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Poor Sean. He took one for the team. You doing better, bud?
Every single exhale is torture.
Waiting to exhale.
Oh my God! I just went and literally drank non-dairy creamer.
Oh boy! Big thank you to McDonald's.
Yep.
For sponsoring the show this morning. Fortunately, they don't have any chocolate hot like that. But you know what? You know what would be really good right now? One of those nice, icy cold chocolate shakes.
Ice cream or
nice
chocolate shake, yeah.
Maybe a McFlurry. Or maybe even just a
Shamrock Shake.
Ooh, a Shamrock Shake. Well, I think they're past, but that'd be good right now. So, I think, he's just.
Don't worry, you're not.
He's fiending. He's just kind of like because he's so uncomfortable. It's not easing up. Is it getting stronger? Or is it?
It's staying level. It's like my whole mouth is just on fire.
Okay.
But worse than that is right here in my throat.
Yeah.
The entirety of my esophagus is just like inflamed.
Hey, is there any like crackers or something back there? Something that can absorb? Maybe I don't know.
think so. I think we have like hummus, some butter.
Ooh! Look in the
And we got ice cream, I think.
Look in the refrigerator door. See, if there's like those jelly packs or anything in there.
Oh, yeah.
See if there's any of those in there.
Try that out.
There you go.
Holy moly.
They have grape jelly with aloe. Is that a thing?
No, aloe. There's aloe in there.
I wonder if that's worse than the Packy One Chip Challenge.
I don't know. The Packy One Chip Challenge, the problem with that is those chips were so old and crusty and dry, it's hard to get down. Like you can't, I ate one of those chips and did the challenge. And the hardest part was chewing the chip and swallowing it because it's so dry. Because I was going to use a tactic to try to chew as little as possible to swallow it. But because those things are so old, the chips were so old, they literally tasted like if you lost a chip on the couch, like you were eating Doritos, and one of the Doritos falls on the couch cushion, and then you forget about it, and then find it like 6 months later, and like, ooh, and then eat it. That's what that Pacquiao chip, as far as freshness went.
Well, they put oils in it too to hold all the spice together.
It was hot. I ain't gonna lie, but it was the rougher part was that it just was so dry and so nasty. It was like eating, food found in a dumpster. But anyway, I did that challenge. I know all about it. There's video you can go back and check out in our archive.
I don't know if I could do it. I'm not tolerable for.
We did
spice.
it with the Dodge Boys.
I'm not a spice king.
Yeah, when they were at the time were Desert Sun, but yeah, we did it with them about 4 or 5 years ago. It was actually before Sean. It was before Sean. Me and Jeffrey did the challenge. Yeah, so I've been there, done that. Let me give you the rundown for this hour of the show. Big thank you to McDonald's, by the way. Visit any of your 3 locations here. Don't forget to download that app. I was looking on the app earlier for the Szechuan sauce. I did not see it, but in all fairness,
I thought y'all were joking. Is it really back?
Well, it was yesterday.
Oh, okay.
But I'm not sure if it is there again today. It's not there now, but it's also breakfast. The app is very menu. Like if you, I think, let me go look again after the lunch menu's up and see if it's offered there. But it was not during breakfast. So just to warn you. But big thank you to McDonald's for providing breakfast treats each and every Friday for our show as well. What's that?
I think I have one. Like I saved one of the Szechuan sauces from the last time they brought it back.
I'll wait for a fresh one before I try it. I don't want to try that one. Let me give you a rundown for this hour of the show. We'll get you up to date with the weather here in just a bit. Then here in just a few minutes, Kevin Maver is going to join us here in studio, development director here for the city of Roswell. We're going to talk about the cannabis ordinance and talk about, of course, statewide. It's going recreational today. It'll be in May here in Roswell, and Kevin's going to explain why all that's going down. I kind of think I explained it earlier right, but I'm not sure if I'm right. So I'm going to let Kevin explain it correctly. So he'll join us here in just a few. Then later on, we'll get you up to date with the news, local news, your Wall Street business update, and whatever else we can come up with for this hour of the show. Plus, we'll check in on Sean, make sure he didn't burn his tongue off. He's not lying on the floor in the other room, just passed out from pain. It was so painful, I just passed out. But anyway, he was not happy. Like he put his mouth, he was all confident, and then I could just see the look in his eyes the moment it hit, and he's like, "Oh no." And then he started getting redder and redder. I was like, "Oh, there it is."
Sean.
There's a meme going around. I'm still.
Still warm?
There's a meme going around that said it was at that moment that he knew he messed up.
That's right.
I don't know what I was thinking. I
saw that moment in his eyes. I was like, "Oh."
I thought one square. That's not gonna be too big of a deal. And then it just started. I put it on my tongue, and it spread, and just spread out throughout the entirety of my mouth. I'm like, "Quick, swallow it!" That was the first thing I thought was, "Quick, swallow it."
And then start burning your esophagus.
As I was swallowing it, I'm like, "That's a bad idea, Sean."
Can you imagine that guy who did that weird challenge with all the hot stuff and he finished with that chocolate? Remember that guy?
The 2 square? Yeah.
Yeah.
That dude's
and he was
Skippy628, I think is his name.
Yeah, he did like some insane. I was grossed out watching the challenge. It was
LA Beast, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Have a good day. Yeah, that guy's out there.
Guy's probably dead now because he has no innards.
He just got the biggest ulcer ever.
He just burned it out. All right, well, it's 8:16. We're going to do some weather. Sean's going to go stick his head in an ice box. We'll be back on the other side.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Looks pretty good for our weekend. We'll have high pressure parked over eastern New Mexico, so we'll get a few clouds early today, but sunshine through the afternoon. Our highs 80 to 85 and a little bit breezy. Low 40s and clear for the overnight hours, and then we'll stay near 80 for the afternoon high on Saturday and Sunday. Sunshine and upper 80s on Sunday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 47 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 36%. Winds currently out of the south at 8 miles per hour. Sunny today. Highs near 80. 79 officially. A little breezy, though. South winds 10 to 15 this morning. Shifting out of the northwest, an increase in 15 to 20, gusting as high as 30 miles per hour later today. Tonight, skies will be clear with an overnight low of 39 degrees. Winds will be out of the north, 15 to 20, dropping down 5 to 10 after midnight. Saturday, sunny and 81. Northwest winds 5 to 10 early, later shifting to the south, an increase in 15 to 20, gusting as high as 30 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, skies will be clear with an overnight low of 46 degrees. South winds 15 to 20, dropping down 5 to 10 after midnight, but could see wind gusts as high as 30 miles per hour before that temperature drop or wind drop. Sunday, sunny, highs in the upper 80s, 87 on Sunday. Winds will be out of the south 5 to 10 miles per hour, and then mostly sunny and 75 when you head back to work and school on Monday. All right, it is 8:18. Let's go ahead and take about a 3-minute commercial break, and then on the other side of the break, Kevin Mavers will join us, City Development Director here, and we'll talk about this cannabis ordinance on the other side. Don't go away.
There's a whole universe out there. Come explore at the International UFO Museum and Research Center, featuring engaging exhibits and in-depth first-hand accounts of the incident that put Roswell on the map. The research library features the most comprehensive collection of UFO research materials in the world, and you can get exclusive one-of-a-kind gifts and merch from the gift shop or online at roswellufomuseum.com. Don't forget about the UFO Festival, July 1st through 3rd, celebrating the 75th anniversary of the Roswell incident. The International UFO Museum and Research Center. It's otherworldly.
Competition is a big thing, especially when your child plays sport. My child comes home from practice saying, I beat so-and-so in this, or I was faster at least more than 2 people today. As a parent, I simply am thankful to watch her compete and thrive to do better for herself. But for her, everything is a competition. Even the late, great Dale Earnhardt said that second is the first loser. Sometimes competition can suck the life out of you. You know what? Running the race in the spiritual world is different. Running the race is about keeping the faith. And oh, how we could use a little pep talk on keeping the faith these days. A guy in the Bible named Paul wrote a letter to his young disciples saying, I have fought the fight, I have finished the race, I have kept the faith. Finishing makes all the difference when it comes to God. So if you are thinking about throwing in the towel, remember, just hang on and keep running the race. God will be there in the end.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
Finally, a return to normal prom season. And Roswell's most unique boutique has something special for you early birdies with the Hippie Chicks Early Bird Tux Rental Drawing. Simply rent your tux by April 1st and you'll be entered into an exclusive drawing for a $100 Peppers gift card. And with lots of styles to choose from, you can't lose. Open Monday through Saturday at 10 a.m. at 802 South Main in Roswell. Look for the lime green VW Bug or call 575-627-3868. And find Shop Hippie Chicks on Facebook to see it all. Hippie Chicks, Roswell's prom powerhouse.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard has led to a lot of firsts for me. The education assistance I received made it possible for me to be the first person in my family to go to school and graduate debt-free. That education helped get me to the first day at my dream job, a job that I can still hold while I serve part-time. That job, plus the other benefits possible from the Army National Guard, helped me become a first-time homeowner. Also, part of my role as a National Guard soldier means I know that I can be one of the first to respond and help my community if disaster ever strikes. I'm extremely proud that I get to serve my community, and that first step I took by joining the Army National Guard has made all the difference in my life. Talk to your local recruiter or visit NationalGuard.com to find out what firsts are available to you in the Army National Guard.
Sponsored by the New Mexico Army National Guard, aired by the New Mexico Broadcasters Association and this station.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. U-Haul is the world's largest advertiser in the Yellow Pages. Too bad millennials don't know what the Yellow Pages are. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 22 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in the studio this morning, Kevin Mavers back with us, the City Development Director. Good morning, Kevin.
Good morning, Mike. How y'all doing?
Doing good. How about yourself? I know you had a busy week.
You know, it has been a busy week, and unfortunately, I'm not sure I've had a slow week since I arrived in Roswell over a year ago.
Yeah, it kind of threw you to the fire, didn't
no
it?
exception.
For folks that don't know what we're talking about, statewide, today's a day that recreational cannabis went legal, basically, and dispensaries around the state have been getting their paperwork in order and things like that. Roswell, for us, it's probably going to be about a month delay here on that, right?
About 45 days.
About 45 days.
About 45 days if things go the direction we expect them to go.
Okay. And so I know a lot of people are like, why, what's going on? Hey, man, how come I can't get it here, but I can go to Ruidoso or whatever and get it? And really, it's because there's a process, and there's time and things you have to do, and just the dispensaries that want to set up shop here basically are still in that process, and they're not finished that process yet. Once they're finished the process, then they can go. Just because it's April 1, they're not ready to go. They can't go.
And that's one of the things we're having is to combat here with the city is the messaging. The messaging coming out of Santa Fe versus the messaging coming out of City Hall versus the message that's being received by our local cannabis community.
Yeah.
So we got 3 different messages being sent by 3 different people and being received by a third party that is completely different than what was intended.
Which explains the confusion.
Yeah, which explains a lot of the confusion. And so what I wanted to do is spend a few minutes with you this morning, Mike, and try to, it's not going to make people happy because I'm going to tell the truth about this whole situation.
Sure.
And let people know that the burden, the responsibility for complying with all the rules and the regulations, not only at the state level, but also here locally, that burden is on our local cannabis community.
Yeah.
Okay. And for anybody who's has a med card right now, they know there. I believe we have half a dozen different places you can take your med card right now. No changes whatsoever.
Yeah, you're business as usual.
Business as usual for the medical marijuana dispensaries. Okay. The changeover, of course, began last June when Governor Grisham signed into law the Cannabis Act and the legalization. And I'm not even going to use that term legalization because that's really not what happened.
Yeah, it was more
what happened
decriminalization.
Decriminalization of personal possession.
Yes.
Okay. And there's no change in that either. So if you're over 21 and you want to grow up to 6 plants in your own home per person, up to 12 within the household. If you want to smoke it, if you want to bake it, if you want to turn it into edibles, if you want to enjoy, please do so. If that's your thing.
As long as you don't drive or do anything impaired that would be illegal. Yeah.
Right, and that's why I said whatever you want to do at home.
Yeah. But it's just like alcohol; those same rules apply. You can't go driving and doing all those things.
Very, very true. And the thing we need to remember, though, just like alcohol, it's for adults over 21 and over. Okay, it's still a criminal act for anyone under 21 to possess or use cannabis in any form.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have a partial decriminalization, and that's on the personal side. So take the personal issues and set that aside because there's no changes in all of that. What was also done, though, at back last June is it set in motion a whole series of events to create a brand new industry here in New Mexico. Okay, the commercial cannabis industry, which allowed for the cultivation, manufacturing, processing, distribution, and retail sales.
The whole circle of life that is selling marijuana.
In fact, one of the licenses that the state has been granting a lot of our previous medical marijuana dispensaries is called a vice license, which I think is an interesting juxtaposition of the term vice, but it stands for vertically integrated cannabis establishment.
Okay.
So with this one license, you are allowed to cultivate, manufacture, process, distribute, and retail sales, all of it.
Gotcha.
Okay, under one license.
Okay.
Now, most of our medical marijuana facilities, our dispensaries here in town, have been granted that license. In fact, I've yet to see anything other than that.
Okay.
What that does, though, is it sets in motion a whole nother series of events that needs to happen. Because the state allows the local jurisdictions, whether it's the counties or the cities, to establish rules for time, place, and manner.
Gotcha.
Okay? In other words, time. We can help, working with youth, working through our process, we can legally say, you know what, Mike, love your idea, love your dispensary, but you can only sell from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Gotcha.
Monday through Saturday.
It's kind of like with liquor. If you remember, you can buy beer on Sundays up until recently here, or at least in city and all that. Same kind of laws
Same kind of laws.
Yeah.
In fact, they're very, very similar to any type of adult use law. We have a very strict sexually oriented business regulations here in town. There are the liquor laws, of course, which are also multi-jurisdictional. You've got the federal, you've got the state, and you've got your local, all which have to be complied with. Okay, the cannabis laws are no different. You've got federal laws which basically say no,
it's all illegal. Yeah.
Okay, we have the state laws that say okay, but within our jurisdictional boundaries, and then you have the local laws where we establish time, place, and manner. Okay. So beginning in June of last year, I mean, like the day after the law went into effect, the city of Roswell formed a task force made up of 3 city council people and some city staff, including our city attorney, as well as a couple of other interested individuals. And we began working on our new ordinance.
Okay.
We brought the first ordinance to the city council, or actually we brought it to our legal committee, which is an open public hearing. We invited our cannabis community to come in and help write the ordinance. They didn't bother to show up.
Yeah, you need your input on that.
Yeah, we do. Okay. So what we did get input on, though, was from all of the health agencies.
Gotcha.
We got input from all the downtown businesses.
So
we
what
got
you can't do.
Yeah, a bunch of this. Look, we're not sure we really want this propagated in our areas.
Yeah.
So the legal committee met. They approved the ordinance. It then went to city council, where we had not 1 but 2 public hearings. Okay, and so by September we had the basic framework of our laws in place. Since then, there's been another 6 city council meetings, as well as 3 additional legal committee hearings.
Okay.
All of which open to the public. All of which we've invited people to come in and comment on. All of which our local cannabis community has failed to show up for.
And by the way, most of which you could probably go back and rewatch if you don't believe them. on
Absolutely.
The city's website.
Check out our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Okay. We have a great YouTube channel. In fact, it's one of the best YouTube channels I've ever seen. Anyway, and you'll find all the old public hearings on that.
Yeah.
You won't find the legal committee meetings, but you will find all the city council public hearings. So you can go back and check all that. So fast forward to January of this year.
Mm-hmm.
The city of Roswell was done. Our ordinance was in place. We were ready to start taking permits.
Just waiting for customers to line up.
We're just waiting for customers to walk in the door.
Yeah.
And we had a lot of them walk in the door. We did have dozens and dozens of inquiries from people wanting to start new businesses.
Gotcha.
Okay.
And you're weeding out basically the serious inquiries versus people just curious about getting into the weed business.
Yeah, and that's really where we're at right now. We still are.
Yeah, okay.
But one of the things we did, we went above and beyond what is required. We actually have an 80-page cannabis guidebook for anybody that wants to go into business for themselves. It's being updated. We're working on version 2.0 right now because the state keeps modifying their laws and their regulations.
I'm sure there's going to be a whole lot more coming as the years.
But we have been handing it's available as a PDF, so we can email it right to you if you're interested in looking at it, if you're interested in going into the business. But what people are finding, of course, is that the cannabis business, cannabis industry, is one of the most heavily regulated industries in the entire United States. This is not an easy industry for the mom and pop to get into.
Sure.
You know, you can if you've got happen to have a boatload of cash sitting around.
Right.
Because you can't go get a loan to start one of these businesses, especially not from any federal agency
Yeah,
or any
FDIC.
federal insured bank.
Yeah.
Okay. And it takes a lot of money to do it right. But going back to the city's regulations, we have to find the balance, and you'll find this across the state.
Mm-hmm.
Every city held public hearings. Every city talked about it. We have to find the balance between what is good for the city of Roswell's families and our visitors and everything else, and what is good for our business community, our cannabis business community.
Sure.
And when you weigh all those factors, what became increasingly clear was that the community as a whole, and I think you'd probably agree, Roswell is a family-oriented community.
I would agree with that.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. If you head out to Cahoon Park, or you head out to Noon Optimus, or the Recreation Center, go this afternoon. Hundreds, thousands of kids out there playing baseball, playing softball. It came through loud and clear. We don't want to smell it. We don't want to see it. We don't want it around any of our children anywhere.
Gotcha.
So that's where a lot of the setbacks and other things came from. Schools, churches, parks, other things. We need to have a separation distance. Okay. We modified our Clean Air Act, which included the smoking ordinance. We originally had concerns over tobacco. Now we have concerns over vaping and cannabis smoke as well.
Yeah.
So we went back and modified that to take into account those things. But we took into account all the families. We took into account all the health concerns. Then when we did all of that, we decided, okay, but we still have an industry and we still need to make sure that there is a pathway for success.
Absolutely.
So we designed a couple of very specific zoning designations. We actually have 2 brand new zoning designations here in town. We have an ICANN, okay, the industrial cannabis zone,
okay,
for your cultivators, manufacturers, processors, distributors,
okay,
your vertically integrated companies. And then we also have a CCAN, okay, commercial cannabis zone. Okay. So the process for anybody coming forward these days is you need, if let's say you want to open a new dispensary, you want to open it for retail sales. Your first step is to locate a piece of property in the C2 zone, which is our general commercial zone. And there's it's the largest commercial zone we have in the entire city.
Gotcha.
Then double check and make sure that you've got the appropriate setbacks from churches and schools and daycare centers. And there was even some concerns expressed by our medical community, especially people in recovery program. They don't need to be exposed to that.
Sure.
Visually.
And a lot of those goes to churches.
Yeah.
A lot of those are at churches.
So you have to double check all of that. But once you find that appropriate location, then you make all your applications to us. We'll give, you'll apply for a zone change to the CCAN zone. You'll apply for a conditional use permit so that we can control the time and the manner. The zoning controls the place. Time and manner is controlled by your CUP, your conditional use permit.
Gotcha.
Okay. We take those applications in, you pay your fees, you put together your business plan and everything else. We take that then to the Planning Commission. The Planning and Zoning Commission will then review everything and they will make a recommendation to the City Council. The City Council has the final jurisdictional authority here in the city of Roswell. So all along the way, though, our cannabis industry participants are allowed to come in and be a part of the decision-making process. They are allowed to plead their case. They're allowed to say, hey, look, this is our plan. This is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to provide security. This is how we're going to make sure that we don't get broke into. In fact, if you were watching the news last night, it was all cannabis all the time. One of the things I noticed, though, as I was watching the news late last night, is the rash of burglaries and break-ins.
Oh, yeah.
Now, and that's especially in Albuquerque right now.
I can imagine, too.
And it's primarily because these are mostly cash businesses. It's tough to get a bank account for a lot of these places. So it's, when you go through the process and you do it correctly, you come into our office, you make your application, you pay your fees. We're going to start the processing. Now, we do have some state-mandated notification requirements as well. It takes us about 3 to 4 weeks to go through all those notifications, notify the surrounding residents, put notices in the newspaper, get things set for the public hearing. So we need about 2 weeks to review your application. There's 3 to 4 weeks of review and public advertising. Then you can go to the Planning and Zoning Commission. So you've got about a 6-week lead time there.
Okay.
Assuming that the Planning and Zoning Commission recommends approval, it's only about 2.5 weeks later before you'll be in front of the City Council. Okay. And once you're in front of the City Council, assuming that they approve it and that there's no objections filed after the fact, you're in business within a few days after the City Council meeting. So the total lead time we're looking at is about 8 weeks. Okay. So knowing that April 1st, which I really thought was kind of a curious day to pick, April Fool's Day. I was kind of wondering if Santa Fe was playing a really cruel joke on the entire industry.
Message? What is that? Yeah.
No, I was wondering if they were playing a cruel joke on the entire indry, but then say, just kidding.
Just kidding, you can't open.
And we'll start next Monday. We'll start on the 4th, All right, but we knew that it was going to be about a 6 to 8 week lead time on all of this. That's why we had all of our stuff in place in January.
Gotcha.
January. So we could have started taking applications. And this is the thing that I find a little, I don't want to say disturbing or because that's not the right word. I'm just disappointed because so many of our local cannabis distributors they belong to a parent company that's based in Albuquerque. And they're open today because they followed all of Albuquerque's rules and regulations, and they're selling. Las Cruces is open, but for anybody that's been watching, and you and I were talking about it earlier today, they said, well, why are Roswell's rules different from Albuquerque's and everybody? Every city has different rules.
There's this.
Okay. We were talking. Las Cruces opened at 12:01 a.m.
Yeah, they had a pharmacy dispensary that basically at 12:01 they had their sale.
12:01 a.m.
Kind of like
fact,
the movies
that was big news this morning when I woke up. Is the gentleman that was there right at 12:01 a.m. the first guy to get the first sale.
The adventurous stoner.
Yeah, but just in people are saying, well, how come your laws are different than everybody else's? Well, Las Cruces' laws are different from Santa Fe's laws. Santa Fe didn't start selling until 7 a.m. this morning.
Yeah.
Which are different from Albuquerque's. Albuquerque didn't start till 10 a.m.
10 a.m. I remember, yeah.
Okay. And there are a lot of cities around the state where there's nobody selling again.
Yeah.
Because they're still working on their ordinances.
Gotcha.
Okay. So it's a process. And I don't want anybody to get upset about going through the process.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The process is going to change over the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years.
Sure.
I can guarantee you.
It's going to streamline some, I think.
It might not.
Yeah.
It depends on the direction the industry as a whole goes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just can't imagine that at some point they're going to get better, or at least have a clearer path. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like at some point, once enough people have gone down the path to do it, then they'll work the bugs out in the smoothest way and any wrinkles, and so I think just doing it enough times will speed up that process.
Well, it will. The thing I'm concerned about though is, and I've worked the cannabis industry in California, Arizona, and Colorado. All three have similar laws to the ones that we have here in New Mexico.
Okay.
I was talking to one of our local merchants the other day, and they were asking about the time frame, and I told him, I said, if we were in California, I'd be talking to you about getting your permit sometime in 2024.
Wow.
Okay, just because that's the way California's laws are set up between the zoning and development codes, the environmental laws, and all the other things that go along with it. So we talk about permitting in California and Colorado in terms of weeks and months and years. Okay, here in New Mexico, we're talking a few weeks.
Wow.
A few weeks.
So
the
people
process is
frustrated.
already streamlined
Yeah.
just because we're in New Mexico.
Gotcha. So people are frustrated with this process. You're like, dude, this is the good one. Go try this in other states and see how much luck you have.
That's not an argument I found a whole lot of traction with. It's like Kevin, you're not in California anymore. Right?
I'm just saying,
we have to
worse
adapt.
than you,
We have to adapt. And we're doing the best we can. But
sure.
The having been through the process in other states,
Mm-hmm.
that's what allowed Roswell to get the jump on putting together our ordinances. That's why we were ready so far ahead of when the actual first sales were going to take place. We're waiting for customers. That's the bottom line. We are ready. We are open. We are willing to process. We've got 2 right now.
Yeah, but say as far as names and stuff, but there's 2 that are probably the closest to being ready to open. I guess you could say.
There's two that will be on the Planning and Zoning Commission agenda this month on the 26th.
Okay.
So if you invite me back on the morning of the 27th, I'll give you an update on what happened at the Planning and Zoning Commission meeting.
So assuming that they get approved there,
right,
then their next step is the City Council.
City Council,
in April,
which is
in May.
In May, which is to be the second Thursday in May, which I can't remember what the date is.
And then after that happens, and then
again, assuming there's no appeal or objections filed, I would imagine by Monday the following week they're in business.
They can open their doors and start.
Well, the doors are already open. The applications we have are just to convert from a medical dispensary to a retail facility.
Okay,
traditional retail facility.
Are they converting so it's all recreation, no medical, or no medical, or is it a hodgepodge of both?
I believe the way the state law is written is they do still have to set aside a certain percentage of their stock for the medical.
Well, here's another question, and this may be out of your wheelhouse, I don't know, but I'm assuming people that have a prescription get priority over recreational as far as supply and demand, right? I would think. Like if someone's got a medical prescription for marijuana, they should have access to it before someone who just wants a joint.
I would think so, but I'm not sure that's how the laws are being applied.
I just again, this is me trying to apply common sense to something that may not. But
and that's where we're all doing the best we can. We we have an industry that has been underground for as long as I've been alive and longer.
Yeah.
And now we're trying to bring them out from underground, bring them out into the open, allow them to operate in a legal but highly regulated fashion.
Sure.
Okay. And there's going to be some struggles when you have people that are used to operating outside the normal legal channels and you bring them in. There's always let's just call it a period of change management.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and there's going to be a lot of just wrenches that you're going to have to fix before things work and smooth out. I get all that. The other question I hear a lot of rumors about, and I'm not sure is true, and I don't even know if this is your wheelhouse or something else, but as far as that prescription versus recreational, is it the exact same quality material, or is the prescription stuff a little more kick to it than the recreational stuff? I've heard both, and granted, it's all rumor scuttlebutt, people talking. I have no idea what's legit and what's not.
The to be considered a medical grade, and there's been. I know our state is still working out all the details on this. In fact, I think I just saw some regulatory information. They're beginning to license the laboratories now that are going to be doing all the testing because of the increase in. And you have 3 different grades of cannabis, at least in other states you do. You have your recreational, which is your lower grade cannabis. Okay, it is not designed to necessarily have any particular potency. It is tested and it's checked because if you're a retailer, success lies in consistency. I know you had McDonald's here again this morning.
Exactly, yeah.
And you know that when you go to a McDonald's here, or you go to McDonald's in Las Cruces or Albuquerque or New York City, you're going to get the same thing unless you go to France.
Yeah.
And then you know what the Big Mac is called, right?
Where's Quarter Pounder?
Quarter Pounder, yeah, that's right.
El Royale.
El Royale. There you go. Why?
I think it's just the
metric
Big Mac.
But I do know that they want to start testing and checking for consistency. They want to start checking for the quantity of the THC and other things. And that's those rules and regulations have been in place because the CBD industry, which is the very similar plant, it comes out of the industrial hemp plant.
Yeah.
It can have only like 0.01 or 0.03 THC content in it, which is
that's a lot where the medical stuff is.
Yeah, that's where a lot of the medical stuff does. I mean,
over-the-counter stuff too.
The over-the-counter stuff,
creams and what have you. Yeah.
But so you've got your recreational grade, you've got your medical grade, and then what's coming is going to be your pharmaceutical grade. Okay. There are a handful of your big pharmaceutical companies right now that are heavily invested in the cannabis industry.
Okay. You mean like your Pfizers, those big, those type level
big companies? Yeah. And in fact, there's been some recent breakthroughs with some treating some childhood diseases and other things. Of course, it's been well known that in terms of cancer treatment, that THC helps to calm the stomach, helps to increase your appetite, aids in recovery,
helps with the
pain management, and a lot of other things. So you've got some, but if you're going to go to that level of pharmaceutical grade, you have to be very, very tight with your tolerances in terms of the quality of the product. Okay, that's coming, and it's going to continue. That area, I believe, is going to continue to grow.
Sure,
and we're going to see the major pharmaceutical companies investing heavily in laboratories and testing facilities.
Marijuana right now is kind of like craft beer of 10 years ago. You know how everybody and their uncle was doing their craft beers? I mean, it still is, but it got really big there for a while, and marijuana is turning into that, where you're going to have these like sommeliers that are running around with. They already are there, but it's going to get more so where they're going to be able to tell you, what this weed, what it tastes like, what it does, what it pairs well with,
It's already being done.
It's to the point now where it's almost very bougie,
and it's going to. I know there's a. One of the shows on the cooking channel now is already about cooking with weed.
They've got a couple of them out there. I think Netflix has got a handful of them too. I've seen on there.
So it's an industry. It's a huge industry.
Yeah.
I apologize to those cannabis aficionados that are out there that we're not open, but I want to assure everyone the city of Roswell is ready and willing to take your applications, to process things, to move people through the process. We are not standing in the way right now of the cannabis industry.
Customers,
we're just waiting for the customers to come in, and not that I want my phone to continue to ring off the hook like it has been in the past week, but every single cannabis application comes across my desk.
So you see them all.
I see them all.
So really, for folks that really want to know an update on when they can expect it, you need to call your individual retailer that if you already have, I'm sure that, like you said, companies been prepared for it. I'm sure customers have been anxiously have been following their status. Just keep following their status because, in essence, right now the ball's in their court.
The ball is in their court, and I do have to give credit where credit is due. 3 additional cannabis companies of our local companies are going to be in my office on Monday.
Okay.
We're going to be walking them through the process. We're going to be making sure they got all the applications. I expect that by the end of the week, we'll have 3 or 4 more.
Okay.
I think that being realistic, if things go well, I would imagine there's going to be no obstruction whatsoever to any of our existing cannabis companies going through the process. We'll have the first 2 that'll probably, assuming all goes well and the city council approves their conversion, you'll be looking at those in May. We'll probably have 2 or 3 more in June. And I wouldn't be surprised, though, if somebody made the business decision. I know that this is something I've talked to a couple of people about. If everyone else is moving towards recreational, that opens up the market for the medicinal.
Sure. Yeah.
So
you got a lot less competition.
If I've got, why wouldn't that be my separator in the marketplace? Look, I am here to serve our medical community. So I would not be surprised if there are 1 or 2 out there that just say, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and continue to operate the way I have been in the past, and so I do want to assure any of our people with their medical marijuana cards, your dispensary is open for business today.
There you go. You can go and make your purchases and do what you got to do.
Absolutely.
And think about this. For folks that are like our age, Kevin, in our ballpark, think of this as remember when we saw the boom of the internet and all these .coms and everything going on? Mm-hmm. You're now seeing that for the marijuana industry, and you're right on the precipice of it and seeing what's going on. So
you want to know what's even funner? More fun? Go back and check top-level domain names. You can get a .weed domain.
There you go. Ask for it by name.
There you go.
Oh, man. Well, Kevin, thank you very much for taking time and kind of breaking it down for everybody. Of course, if folks have questions, they can always call Kevin's office, and or maybe if you're one of the companies that are interested in starting that process, and you're like, all right, I heard Kevin talk, but I missed all that. What do I got to do again? Give him a call.
Just give me a call. You can find my name. You can find my phone number right on the city's website. Just go to the city's website at Roswell-nm.gov.
There you go.
Click on the community development tab. Look down the right-hand side. All my contact information is right there.
Absolutely. And, of course, while you're there, too, if you want to go back and see any of those city council meetings, anything we talked about.
We got to go to YouTube for that.
Well, I think there's a link through the website. I think if you go to Roswell-nm.gov, there's a link to take you to the YouTube channel. So,
but yeah, it takes there's actually, I was really pleasantly surprised when I started looking through the YouTube website.
Yeah.
There are hundreds, possibly thousands of videos.
There is.
So it takes a while to dig through it all, but you go back, take a look at a few of the meetings starting last July, August, September, and you'll see that everything that we've been talking about has been happening all along.
And I believe also, if you rather do it in transcript form, that's available on the website as well. The city
certainly
council, the agendas and all that stuff.
Yeah, certainly the agendas.
So you can that might help you find where you're looking for. If you want to go through there, that way you can search by date and everything, and then you can find the topics, and then maybe that'll give you a window of where to look in the YouTube channel for the actual video part. So. Okay. Very good. Well, thank you, Kevin. Appreciate the visit. We'll see you next time.
All right, Mike. Thank you so much.
Have a good weekend.
You too.
And hopefully you get some downtime. I've been working harder all this weed. I'm not supposed to be working hard with weed. What's going on here? But just kidding. So thank you, Kevin. Appreciate you. It is 8:51. Let's go ahead and get you up to date with some local news, weather, a quick commercial break as well. Don't go away.
Now for a Pecos Valley news update. I'm Jared Sorello. The City of Roswell's Keep Roswell Beautiful program will help local residents celebrate Arbor Day again by handing out tree and shrub seedlings for citizens who wish to plant them in their yards or other properties. The Arbor Day drive-through seedling giveaway will be Saturday, April 9th from 9 to 11 a.m. at Cielo Grande Recreation Area, which is located at 1612 West College Boulevard in Roswell. It's a free event offering seedlings on a first-come, first-served basis while supplies last. It will be illegal to use wildlife traps, snares, and poison on public lands across New Mexico under a new ban that takes effect today. New Mexico joining a handful of western states that have limited trapping on public lands, with supporters saying the move will help protect endangered species like the Mexican gray wolf and prevent household pets from walking into traps amid efforts to promote outdoor recreation and tourism. You're up to date. That's a look at local news headlines. I'm Jared Sorello reporting.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Looks pretty good for our weekend. We'll have high pressure parked over eastern New Mexico, so we'll get a few clouds early today, but sunshine through the afternoon. Our highs 80 to 85 and a little bit breezy. Low 40s and clear for the overnight hours, and then we'll stay near 80 for the afternoon high on Saturday and sunny. Sunshine and upper 80s on Sunday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. President Biden is ordering the release of 1 million barrels of oil per day from the nation's Strategic Petroleum Reserve for 6 months in a bid to control energy prices that have spiked after the United States and allies imposed steep sanctions on Russia over its invasion of Ukraine. The White House said Biden wants Congress to impose financial penalties on oil and gas companies that lease public lands but are not producing. A surge in demand for COVID-19 tests and vaccines helped Walgreens deliver a better second quarter than Wall Street expected, but that boost from the ongoing pandemic isn't expected to last, and the drugstore chain stuck to a 2022 outlook. Company leaders also told analysts that Walgreens' big shift into delivering more care was too recent to see any measurable growth in prescriptions or customer store visits. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
Competition is a big thing, especially when your child plays sport. My child comes home from practice saying, I beat so-and-so in this, or I was faster at least more than 2 people today. As a parent, I simply am thankful to watch her compete and thrive to do better for herself. But for her, everything is a competition. Even the late, great Dale Earnhardt said that second is the first loser. Sometimes competition can suck the life out of you. You know what? Running the race in the spiritual world is different. Running the race is about keeping the faith. And oh, how we could use a little pep talk on keeping the faith these days. A guy in the Bible named Paul wrote a letter to his young disciples saying, I have fought the fight, I have finished the race, I have kept the faith. Finishing makes all the difference when it comes to God. So if you are thinking about throwing in the towel, remember, just hang on and keep running the race. God will be there in the end.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
Hey, all you cats and kitties out there in Radio Land, listen up, because if you're thinking a cruise down Main Street in Artesia sounds like the perfect way to spend a Saturday, well, have I got news for you, because we ain't fooling around. It's the 23rd Annual Main Event Car Show and Cruise, coming up Friday and Saturday, April 1st and 2nd in downtown Artesia. Kicking things off on Friday, April 1st with a parade and cruise down Main Street at 6 p.m. Then come out for a stroll through Heritage Plaza Saturday starting at 9 to see amazing cars from all decades lined up for you to view. Classic cars to antique trucks and even some tractors. There'll be something for everybody. Best of all, spectators are free. For more information or to sign up, call the Artesia Chamber of Commerce at 575-746-2744. That's 575-746-2744, or go online to artesiachamber.com. Don't miss the 23rd Annual Main Event Car Show and Cruise, Friday and Saturday, April 1st and 2nd in downtown Artesia. Paid for by Artesia Lodgers Tax.
This is Renee.
Happy to be here.
She's not some influencer. She's more of a groundbreaker, turning her 4-acre lot into a little slice of heaven behind the wheel of a John Deere 1 Series tractor. Renee runs with us because the most important job is the next one.
That's all I got.
Nothing runs like a Deere. Hear Renee's story at Deere.com.
Stop by Pecos Valley Equipment in Artesia and Roswell, or visit us online at pecosvalleyequipment.com.
Hey everyone, Big Nate here. Come see me this weekend at the Yucca Blossom Spring Into Action Trade Show. I'll be at the Eddy County Fairgrounds, 9 a.m. to noon on Saturday and 11 to 2 on Sunday. Come check out the 100 vendors spread across 3 buildings. The Runyon Ranch Petting Zoo, why, even the Easter Bunny will be there. So come see me, Big Nate, at the Yucca Blossom Spring Into Action Show this weekend in Artesia on 92.9 The Brand.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Turtles can breathe through their butts. We imagine you know some people who do that too, because that's where their heads reside. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 8:58. Stay tuned next hour, about 9:15 or so. Molly Boyles with Main Street Roswell scheduled to join us tonight, being First Friday. Sean's back. You look more normal now. You recovered from the chocolate.
The only thing I can ascertain is I put my body in shock.
Yeah.
Yes, one square put my body in shock because I was sitting in the other studio, and it was like I had a fever. I was hot to the touch everywhere I felt, but I was freezing cold and literally shaking, shivering.
Huh.
It was like all of the blood in my body was rushing to be like, what is this thing now?
Feel alive now?
I feel much better, and I was sitting over in the other studio thinking, I'm going to feel so much worse later.
Well, maybe not.
Maybe I've staved off my own colonoscopy by a few years because maybe I've just burned off all the polyps that are down there.
Light them up, boys.
Don't worry about it, Doc. I took care of them.
That's right.
I got you.
Got them from the other end.
That's right. Took evasive action.
Wow. So how long did it finally take?
It was about 30 minutes. It was a good
30 minutes.
Like by the time I looked at the clock and it was like 32 after, I was like, okay.
Wow.
Even now there's still like a mild burning sensation on the back of my tongue.
Yeah.
It's not like terrible.
Have you tried to eat anything since then?
I've just had some coffee.
Okay.
Honestly. And that's fine. But yeah, that was Phew.
Well, we got 8 more squares. If anybody wants more.
Actually, Mrs. Bain, Whitney Bain from Burindo Middle School, the band director, she said she wanted to try it too. So
really?
Yeah, we need to get her on the radio to try it. She said just name a time and a place, and yeah, I went ahead and did mine. Your turn.
Do we need to make a waiver for her? I mean,
yeah, we need you to sign this.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. America's employers, they're on a roll, extending a streak of robust hiring in March.
The Labor Department says employers added 431,000 jobs, which helped reduce the jobless rate to 3.6%. That was the lowest level since the pandemic erupted 2 years ago. Despite the highest inflation in 40 years, persistent supply bottlenecks, the damaging effects of COVID-19, and now a war in Europe, employers have added at least 400,000 jobs for 11 straight months.
Correspondent Jeremy House. Large areas of the Chernobyl nuclear site are off limits for good reason. Now, the Russians had to learn that lesson the hard way. Ukraine says Putin's troops who were digging trenches on the site had to pull out after exposure to dangerously high radiation levels. The governor of a Russian border state accusing Ukraine's military of attacking an oil depot.
The depot, run by Russian energy giant Rosneft, is located about 20 miles north of the Ukraine-Russia border. According to a telegram post by a local Belgorod official, the helicopter attack set the facility ablaze and 2 people were injured, the official adding 2 helicopters of the armed forces of Ukraine had entered the territory of Russia at a low altitude. It was not immediately possible to verify the claim or images that have been circulating on social media of the alleged attack.
Correspondent Charles Deladesma. The Biden administration rolling out tougher new car and truck mileage standards. Under these revised rules, new gas-powered vehicles sold in the U.S. will have to average at least 40 miles per gallon in 2026. Stocks are mixed on Wall Street right now. The Dow down 6 points, the NASDAQ 64 points higher. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Hey, I'm Andy. If you don't know me, it's probably because I'm not famous. But I did start a men's grooming company called Harry's. The idea for Harry's came out of a frustrating experience I had buying razor blades. Most brands were overpriced, overdesigned, and out of touch. At Harry's, our approach is simple. Here's our secret. We make sharp, durable blades and sell them at honest prices for as low as $2 each. We care about quality so much that we do some crazy things, like buy a world-class German blade factory. Obsessing over every detail means we're confident in offering a 100% quality guarantee. Millions of guys have already made the switch to Harry's, so thank you if you're one of them. And if you're not, we hope you give us a try with this special offer. Get a Harry starter set with a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, shave gel, and a travel cover, all for just $3 plus free shipping. Just go to harrys.com and enter 3377 at checkout. That's harrys.com, code 3377. Enjoy.
Russia's foreign minister holding talks today with his Indian counterpart. The BBC's Rajini Vajanathan is in Delhi.
Russia might be considered an enemy to many in the world, but here it remains an ally. The two nations have decades-long ties. India buys the majority of its arms from Moscow, but it's the sale of cheap crude oil from Russia which is likely to be the focus of today's discussions. Russia's offered India a payment system for oil which wouldn't break sanctions regulations, but the US Deputy National Security Advisor, who was in Delhi yesterday, warned there would be consequences for countries which actively attempt to circumvent sanctions.
A coal mine accident in central Serbia has killed at least 8 people, injured 20 others. It happened around 5 in the morning, local time. 18 people hospitalized, mostly minor injuries. News and analysis at townhall.com. Final legislative approval in Maryland for a paid family leave program.
The measure approved in the Democrat-controlled state Senate now heads to Republican Governor Larry Hogan. The measure enables workers to take up to 12 weeks of partially paid leave for specified personal family circumstances, such as caring for a sick relative, having a baby, or fulfilling military deployment. It would provide up to 24 weeks for a parent if he or she has a serious health issue in the year of a child's birth. The legislature's in the last session of a 4-year term and would not have a chance to override a veto next year if they adjourn before Hogan acts on the bill. Rhonda Rockster reporting.
House Democrats once again blocking a Republican bid to restore American energy independence. GOP lawmakers prevented from taking up legislation that would have restarted U.S. energy projects, including the Keystone XL oil pipeline. Again on Wall Street right now, the S&P 5 points higher. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The demolition, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican world radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Tres inviernos.
Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Buenos viernes.
See.
Everybody.
Happy April.
Yeah. Happy April the 1st. The day of the fool.
It is. It never ceases to amaze me how quickly people forget that, yes, it is April Fool's Day, and just blindly go with something that people will post on social media. I just read a post from one of my former colleagues, fellow I worked with in radio, probably 2 generations my senior.
Okay.
One Roger W. Morgan, who posted that he and his wife are expecting.
No, he didn't.
He did.
He went with that old joke?
He did. His wife, now in fairness, his wife is significantly younger. I would say she's in her early to mid 40s.
I know, but no one likes that joke.
But here's
that is
the
the
thing.
oldest April Fool's joke on the planet, and everyone gets mad when you do it.
And here's the thing, and this is what tells me his demo.
Yeah.
Every single comment below it was like, congratulations, snow on the roof, go Roger, we knew you still had it in you. I mean, this tells me his demo. He's basically, he broadcast to 65-year-olds who just forgot that it was April Fool's Day. I posted in the comments, I said, everybody check your calendars. Just a reminder.
But that's like the oldest, most baddest, worst.
Right. You're not going to make
April
friends.
Fool.
People are going to be like, oh, we're so happy for you. And now, shut up.
There's actual memes saying, it's April Fool's, don't be that person that does the fake pregnancy bit on April Fool.
Mm-hmm.
There's like 100. It's almost as, there's 2 instances where people start, 1, 4th of July, with firing off fireworks around veterans.
Uh-huh.
Everyone loves to put a bunch of stuff about that.
Yep.
And don't make fake baby pregnancies on April Fool's. Those are like the 2 biggest memes you ever see on Facebook that are like date specific. And sure enough.
Show enough.
Radio people are hacks. Never, ever let them tell you different.
We've got like 4 good bits, and we just keep doing them over and over and over again.
A bunch
Eat
of hacks.
something crazy. I mean, fake a pregnancy. Mayor of Boston killed in a car crash.
Yeah.
There's that old chestnut.
At least we don't do honk for cash anymore.
Yeah,
Does that still happen? Bring that back. Honk for cash. I'd do that, but I don't have any cash.
And go from
Remember honk for cash?
Oh yeah, I remember that.
That's a good way to alienate people. Of course, nowadays you can't do that because someone might actually go postal.
Mm-hmm.
We live in a society now that, look at Will Smith. We got a bunch of those people just ready to.
Oh yeah.
You made me honk. I'm going to kill you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you know what? I'll tell you this. I was driving with my children the other day at a reasonable rate of speed. Not like slow. I was driving a normal speed.
Keeping up with the traffic.
This truck comes up, like zooms behind me, like inches from my front, cuts me off. So I do the natural thing. Sorry, flip the dude the bird. And
give him the one finger salute.
Give him the old,
Yeah.
Hey, good on you.
You're number one.
I then was in the process of dropping my kids off. He followed me to where I was and zoomed by the area 3 times, staring at me, I'm like, all right.
Angry much?
All right, just one thing, but cool.
Yeah.
You started it. All right.
So you can't do honk for cash because people are crazy.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't recommend it.
If you're doing that, what that guy just did to Sean, you're crazy. Go seek help. You are slipping off your brain's normal path.
I'll tell you what, though, I do want to get on the back of my car, on the window, my last name, but in Old English. I just think it'd be really funny.
And then tie that on with a couple baby on board signs.
Yeah.
Or that Garfield stuck to the glass.
Yeah, Mondays, am I right?
And then the stick figure kids on the other. Then you got the whole thing right
stick
there.
Figure kids, exactly.
Stick figure kids, Garfield baby on
I'm
board.
holding out for the stick figure kids until I get a minivan.
Big last name in giant old English lettering. You got it all right there.
Yeah.
Only thing you'd be missing is that kid peeing on something.
That's right.
That kid peeing on a symbol or something.
because the new one is he's changed from his peeing ways and turned to the Lord.
Oh.
Have you seen that one?
I have not seen
where
that
Calvin
one.
is kneeling in front of a cross.
No, I haven't seen
Calvin
that
has decided he's no longer going to pee on things. That was wrong. And he's turned to the Lord.
Well, put it on both. Put both up. Kind of like the devil and angel on your shoulder.
My thought is it wasn't him renouncing his ways. He was just taking a break. He was just visiting church to.
I'm tired.
talk to the Lord for a minute. I'll get back at peeing on stuff here in a minute.
All this peeing, I got thirsty.
I'm dehydrated. I just need a break. Get down on my knees real quick. Thank the Lord for a glorious day, and then we'll get back to peeing on stuff later.
There you go. So anyway, sounds like you got a busy weekend of decals to pick up.
Yeah.
So.
Speaking of busy weekend, our sister station, AM 990, 93.7 FM KSVP, going to be running the 2-hour sock hop with yours truly, Sean Smalls, tonight as we do the cruise down Main Street in Artesia.
Yeah.
So if you're going to be heading to Artesia for the cruise for the Artesia Car Enthusiast Show, I'll be inside your radios.
There you go. And then come out tomorrow for the car show in Heritage Plaza there.
Yes.
All day tomorrow.
And
it's
while
free
you're
for spectators.
absolutely, and while you're in Artesia, stop by the Yucca Blossom Spring into Action Trade Show where you can meet Big Nate and see the big blue boombox.
Yeah, do some shopping there.
Corporate synergy.
There you go. Big thank you to McDonald's, as they do each and every Friday, provide us with delicious breakfast treats. Get the app, download it, utilize it for your leisure and for your save it. I got points, yo. I was looking today.
Yeah.
I got like 8,000 points.
Nice.
Yeah.
See, here's the problem. I'm aware of the fact that I have points now, and so I use them, and so I only have like 3,000 built up.
Now I looked at, and I think I can get like anything I want.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, the I think the top of the menu is like 8,000. I think that's
like Happy Meals and stuff.
A Happy Meal or like a premium sandwich.
Yeah, which I can get.
A Big Mac, a premium chicken.
Mm-hmm. That's
double
right.
filet.
That's right. I might save up for 2 and then double fist. What's
Bang.
up? 2 fish sandwiches. What's better than 2?
It's really cool too, because when you go through the whole process of cash out, it actually pops up and says, "This one's on us." Yeah.
Nice. Playa.
Thanks, Mickey D's.
Playa coming through. Look out.
Big Daddy Mac got you.
That's right. But download that app. Start saving today. Start checking out the deals and everything there. And big thank you to McDonald's for being our bestie every Friday.
Speaking of corporate synergy.
Yes. It is 9:13. Molly Boyles from Main Street Roswell are going to join us here in just a few minutes. Tonight is First Friday, which means fun and savings and frivolity is waiting for you this Friday night here in downtown Main Street Roswell here. So we'll chit-chat with Molly, talk about that, talk about some other things happening through Main Street Roswell as well. Before we do any of that, though, let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather. Nicer, a little windy, but temperature-wise, A-okay.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Looks pretty good for our weekend. We'll have high pressure parked over eastern New Mexico, so we'll get a few clouds early today, but sunshine through the afternoon. Our highs 80 to 85 and a little bit breezy. Low 40s and clear for the overnight hours, and then we'll stay near 80 for the afternoon high on Saturday and sunny. Sunshine and upper 80s on Sunday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 56 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 24%. Winds currently out of the south at 8 miles per hour. Today, beautiful temps. Highs near 80, 79 officially under sunny skies today. South winds 10 to 15. Later in the day, those winds will shift to the northwest, increase 15 to 20, gusting as high as 30 miles per hour later today. Tonight, skies will be clear with an overnight low of 39 degrees. North winds 15 to 20, dropping down 5 to 10 after midnight. Saturday, we're looking at sunny skies, highs in the 80s, 81 tomorrow, with north winds 5 to 10 early, shifting to the south, picking up 10 to 15, gusting as high as 30 miles per hour later in the day tomorrow. Tomorrow night, clear skies with an overnight low of 46, south winds 15 to 20, dropping down 5 to 10 after midnight. And then Sunday, will be near 90. Sunny and 87 officially. Winds will be out of the south at around 5 to 10. And then cooler, but still nice on Monday. Mostly sunny, 75. So quite of a drop there, but still pretty nice temperatures there. All right, it is 9:15. We're going to take about a 2.5-minute commercial break. And then on the other side of the break, Molly Boyles will join us with Main Street Roswell, talk about First Friday, talk about Main Street, talk all about that next. Don't go away.
Where can you find the best selection of beautiful and unique home decor in the region? Easy, Casa Decor in Ruidoso. For years, people from all over have come to Casa Decor for the best selection of rustic, real wood furniture, beautiful decor from the Southwest and beyond, and quality outdoor furniture and accessories that are built to last a lifetime. At Casa Decor, they have over 10,000 square feet of showroom for everything you need. Casa Decor opens 7 days a week from 9:30 to 5 at 1214 Meacham Drive in Ruidoso or online at casadecorruidoso.com. Proud supporter of local high school sports.
Oasis Computers has been Roswell's trusted source for home and small business computers for over 30 years, and they continue to be your best resource for computer repairs, operating system upgrades, web root managed, antivirus, special orders, and more. Oasis Computers is now open from 8 to 1, Monday through Friday to better serve you. Service calls by appointments and after-hour appointments are available too. Stop by Oasis Computers at 1703 North Garden or call or text 575-625-9141 for even faster service.
To plant or not to plant? That is the question. Hi, this is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. Our tomato plants and pepper plants are ready to go. If you plant them now, you might have homegrown tomatoes and peppers before anyone else, or the frost might kill them. As Clint Eastwood would say, do you feel lucky? You'll either be the smartest gardener in the county or you'll get to replant them all over again. I say go for it. You'll get more practice and we'll get more business. This is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company, and I apologize to William Shakespeare.
They're back. The Yucca Blossom Trade Show is back and even bigger and better for spring. Saturday and Sunday, April 2nd and 3rd. It's the Yucca Blossom Spring Into Action Trade Show at the Eddy County Fairgrounds in Artesia. Even bigger than ever with over 100 vendors across 3 buildings at the fairgrounds. And there's lots of activities for the entire family, including the Runyon Ranch Petting Zoo, MJWZ barrel cars, a cornhole tournament, face painting, kids get your picture taken with the Easter Bunny, and so much more. Plus, the food. Some of the best and most popular food trucks will be on hand so you can spend the entire day. Enter to win the raffle with a drawing live on 92.9 The Brand Sunday afternoon at 2 p.m., 9 a.m. till 5 p.m. Saturday, April 2nd, and 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Sunday, April 3rd at the Eddy County Fairgrounds in Artesia. The Yucca Blossom Spring Into Action Trade Show. Don't miss it. Find Yucca Blossom Trade Days on Facebook to see some of the amazing one-of-a-kind items available to you during the Yucca Blossom Spring Into Action Trade Show, April 2nd and 3rd. This invitation paid for by Holly Frontier Navajo Refining Company, a proud member of our community.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Alaska is the only state name that can be typed on one row of keys. Go ahead and try typing the other 49 states. We'll wait. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 18 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from Main Street, Roswell, Molly Boyle's back with us. Good morning.
Good morning. How's the day starting?
It's so far so good.
You know, the weather out there is going to be gorgeous.
Weather's nice. I mean,
yes.
I guess if I want to complain, it's going to be a little breezy, but temp-wise, it's going to be beautiful.
But it's not going to be windy, right?
Yeah, it's just breezy.
Just breezy. We can handle breezy. That wind the other day, oh my gosh,
that was unbearable.
Miserable.
That was a big bag of stink.
My eyes were in such bad shape. I was like, I can't even see for the tears.
Well, my allergies have been wreaking havoc all week. I mean, I was playing and probably rolling yesterday and how I was feeling and everything. It's just, tis a bad time of year for allergy sufferers.
It most definitely is.
Yeah.
Yes.
But good news is it should be lovely for tonight.
Yes. First Friday, you know, when the weather during the winter time, when our weather is so nasty and cold, our first Fridays really are not what we want them to be.
Sure.
Because who wants to get out when it's, blowing in 20 degrees or whatever?
Rushing to go into one store or another,
right.
Whereas the whole point is to kind of stroll and enjoy the downtown,
So that's what we're looking forward to. As spring hits, we are really looking forward to everybody being able to come out and enjoy the different stores. Yeah. You know, we've got quite a few of them that stay open late. Mm-hmm. Of course, not everybody's able to stay open late. You know, most of these businesses are mom and pops.
Sure.
And they got families and kids. They got to get to bed and
absolutely,
all of
they
that.
got lives and things. But a lot of them do participate.
Yes, during the day.
Yeah, even if it's not during the 5 to 8 when it's kind of the official window.
Right.
So if you have favorite businesses, check with them individually.
Yes.
They might be doing a sale or a special right as we speak.
Absolutely.
Like the jewelry, like Bullock's and those places like that. Mm-hmm. I know a lot of times they do their stuff during the day.
Right.
And so talk to them during the day today, or check out their social media, Facebook, or call them and say, hey, you guys got anything going on for First Friday? And be like, yeah, but we're going to be closed at 5:30. So make sure. But yes, there's a lot of businesses that participate, even though they're not participating during the 5 to 8.
Correct. Correct. So the other exciting thing about tonight is we have had so many businesses come to us and say, "Hey, can we restart the Food Truck Fridays?"
Oh, good. That was very popular. A lot of people like that.
Extremely popular. And so there was a lot of confusion as to what is or isn't allowed as far as the Main Street's a highway. So, and then you've got the side streets belong to the city. So there's all kinds of
state
things that,
versus city rules.
Right.
Yeah.
So what we have done is our businesses begged us to reach out and see what could get done. Well, guess what? These businesses are willing to open up spots in their parking lots.
Oh, nice.
So for any food truck that is interested in getting with us for Food Truck Fridays, contact me. I'm going to give you a phone number here in just a little bit, or an email. You can reach out. The idea would be some of the businesses can only do First Friday, and then some of the businesses want to do every Friday. So we want to get back into the Food Truck Friday. I have spoken to several businesses that are willing to loan out their parking lots on Fridays. Some of them, it will be an all-day kind of thing. Some of them, it will only be in the evening. And that's between the food truck and the business owner to kind of work out.
And so Main Street's kind of serving as the dating service setup, like meet and say, hey, these are some businesses that like to do it. Here's some food trucks. Why don't you all get together? Maybe work something out. Maybe as the food truck says, hey, we'll park here. We're going to, if you buy something from us, you get a discount there, or vice versa. You can work something out between the business and the food truck business.
I will say that Main Street Roswell is not booking anything.
Gotcha.
We are just trying to connect the two.
You're saying,
connect the businesses.
You have
with
a need.
The food
You
trucks.
have a need.
Yes.
Y'all work it out.
Right.
Yeah.
We've got a lot on our plate, and we still don't have an executive director, and unfortunately, I'm just not that talented. I'm not. I don't have that many hours to keep up with everything. So our First Fridays have been a little disorganized, and that is on me, not on the businesses, because they are doing a good job keeping it going. But the Food Truck Friday, I think, is going to help a lot. Yeah. And of course, when the weather is so nice, and of course with the time change, it stays lighter later.
Sure.
And tonight we're back to having music here in Reichman. So we've got DJ Hen Dog is coming out courtesy.
Okay, he's going to be back and doing his show.
So we've got free music courtesy of DJ Hen Dog. So we appreciate him so much for doing that. Marie Manning booked that out for us. So thank you, Marie. We've got several businesses that, of course, staying open late, different specials. Foxworth Galbraith has just gotten in a new deal of flowers, a new shipment. And I'll tell you what,
here. Some planting.
I am so excited to get into the garden and start planting. I told my husband, I said, you're going to have to set aside some extra money because I want these flowers and those flowers and that plant. And then what about a tree over here? And he's going, whoa, whoa, whoa. He's like, I'm fine with the flowers. He says, when you start talking about a tree, that means I got to do it.
Yeah.
He's like, because I don't think you're going to dig the hole for the tree. And I was like, yeah, you're right.
Of course, if you hold out till the 9th.
Yes.
The city's doing their free sapling event at Cielo Grande. So hopefully folks take advantage of that.
Yes.
That's a first come, first serve.
Absolutely.
Get there early. That's a pro tip.
Yes.
Because it's a cool event, but it's very popular.
And I have several friends that have gotten trees, the saplings in the past, the little seedlings, and they're doing really well. Not all of them have made it. Obviously our weather around here can be a little weird, and it's tough on some of our plants.
But they do try to pick plants and trees that are designed to work well in southeast Mexico.
To flourish in our weird weather.
So it's kind of like if you're not the greenest of thumbs,
yes,
as long as you're attentive, it should work.
Right.
But you got to be attentive. Yes. You got to water it. You got to.
Yeah. If we don't have rains, guys, you can't go 3 weeks without watering it because it's not going to make it.
Yeah.
And that's part of my problem is I get busy with other stuff.
Life happens.
So I try to concentrate on my pots on my porch.
Then let me ask you, maybe you'd be more of an expert. Like those people that buy those glass bulbs that like self-water? Like you've seen those?
Yes.
Do those work?
So those will work well for small pots.
Okay.
So if you have indoor plants that you take out during the nice weather, those work beautifully for that. But because of our hot weather, those would
evaporates.
Work well. Because if you try to put it into a flower bed, you've got such a large area that would be
You'd have to stick a bunch in there?
You'd have to stick so many in there. It would make it very difficult. Your best bet in that case, in my opinion, is to put in a soaker hose and just hook it up and let it run for, depending on the size of the area.
Covers
20
more
minutes.
acreage.
Yeah, 20 minutes
makes sense.
each day. Soaker hoses, of course, you're not going to lose a lot to the evaporation because the soaker hose obviously just allows the water to go pretty quickly into the soil. It's not shooting out when you have...
Yeah, it's not flooding it out. And oversaturating.
It's not oversaturating it, and you're not using a sprinkler. So when you use a sprinkler, you lose quite a bit in the evaporation and the wind blow.
Well, and to be honest, we're lucky in this area because we have a pretty good water supply.
Yes.
Places like up north, Albuquerque, when we talk about sprinklers and stuff, they fine you for stuff like those. You didn't aim your sprinkler right, and it's leaving a bunch in the street.
Right.
A lot of municipalities and things will get on to you about that stuff. We're lucky enough for our. I mean, I don't recommend you do that.
No,
but there's not going to be.
You're having to pay for that water, so you might as well make sure it's doing you good.
No one's going to send you a letter in the mail saying fix this or get fined.
Right, right.
So.
Well, and I think as neighbors, we should be on the lookout.
Be good stewards of the water.
Well, I woke up one morning and went to go get a bottle of water from the kitchen and noticed that across the street, one of my neighbors' sprinkler was doing that thing, where it obviously had gotten hit when mowing or something, and it was turned the wrong way. So the next day, they had already left for work, so I just snuck over there and turned it, and I haven't checked to see, because I haven't been back up at that hour of the morning, I guess, that particular time.
Well, if that spot's green, they owe you a thank you.
So I think it probably worked. I don't know. We'll see.
Good deal.
But sometimes, stuff like that'll happen. Or you'll mow and you don't realize that you've hit that sprinkler head and you've cracked it.
Yeah.
And so one of your neighbors will be like, hey, so you had this spurt of water just going straight out. It was definitely not the sprinkler.
Everything works, and then there's that one that looks like someone put their thumb over the end of the hose nozzle and just going every which way. Yeah.
So, as neighbors, we should keep an eye out if you happen to see that your neighbor's sprinklers are not quite doing the job.
Be neighborly.
Yes.
But don't be annoying. There's a difference.
Don't be ugly about it. Just, go tell them, oh, by the way.
Yeah, like, hey, want bill higher? Look at that sprinkler.
And we've had leaks. We had a leak one time under our driveway. And of course, we got a note from the city that said, we think you have a water leak. And we're looking and we're going, we don't see it. Well, we got the note in like October. And we're thinking, okay, whatever, maybe not. And then come March, we were like, oh, yeah, that spot's really, really green.
Found the leak.
And of course, by this time, our water bill for several months had been quite high. And boy, when we dug it out, it was like, oh. So we, of course, then had to replace the concrete, and it was not cheap.
Did you get to save that one patch of green grass? You have to dig it up.
Oh, we had to dig it up. Are you kidding? Yeah. Okay.
That maybe. All right, put it in a thing over here. We're gonna put it back.
Let's dig it up real careful, and
it's
we'll just
a really nice piece of grass. I don't want to tear it up.
It did. It looked great. Yeah. But unfortunately, most of the water was under the driveway, so it was being completely wasted.
Uncorrected, you probably would have to take a boat to get out of here because that would have cracked up that driveway and beat. Yeah, it would.
Yes, we were lucky that the leak did not cause severe damage to the other part of the driveway.
Water is the most powerful moving force on earth. I love seeing, like, you ever look at like old ancient buildings and like some places you'll see where they had like an irrigation or a constant drip, and just for hundreds of years, there's been a steady drip, and you can see where it's eaten away concrete, and there's a hole because of just slowly a doop, doop, doop over hundreds of years has done that. It's pretty. It's crazy, but it's very cool in some aspects to think about that.
Think about the Grand Canyon.
Yeah, exactly.
Talk about the water and the force of what it took to carve out.
Yeah,
and of course, it's so beautiful because it goes through all those layers and colors and all of that. But man, I don't know that I'd have wanted to be around when there was that much water flowing through that area.
Yeah.
Because that it's honestly destructive. At that point in time, of course, there weren't people there, there weren't homes there, but that would have been extremely terrifying.
Too bad we couldn't have somehow gone back in time and put one of those time-lapse cameras and just let it go for hundreds of thousands of years and see what happens.
My husband has always said he wanted to be around. He would have loved to have been able to see as the earthquakes and volcanoes and so forth formed our terra firma, you know, as these mountains were thrust up through the Earth's crust and stuff. And I'm thinking, yeah, no, that sounds really, really scary.
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't want to be a fly on the wall for that
no,
one.
I'm thinking to myself, what? You want it? What?
But it is cool to think of it in the concepts of creation of life and creation of things, and you're
and the
just
force
like,
it took.
yeah, it's like I would love to see that happen. You know, that would be cool.
Yeah, maybe.
But I get that. As long as you don't have to.
I'll watch it on you know, movie.
Maybe Discovery Channel can make or National Geographic can make a documentary that simulates that.
Oh, they do. They have several things like that where they've simulated what they believe, you know, how it happened and when which happened and all of that kind of stuff.
I know I've seen a lot of those, like the countermeasure, like if humans were knocked off the Earth and how the planet would go back to basically nice without us here.
Right.
How much longer it would take for it to happen.
And
all
it's
that.
amazing. It happens pretty stinking fast.
It does.
When you watch those and they talk about how the plants start destroying destroying buildings. And
I've always bought into George Carlin, the comedian.
Mm-hmm.
He had a stand-up bit, and I got to paraphrase because he cussed and things, but he basically said, the Earth's going to be just fine. I said, the Earth's gone through ice ages. Then he said, the Earth will be just fine. The people, they're screwed.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's going to shake us off like a bad flea and move on about its day.
Yeah. I've heard many times people say, when Mother Nature wants it back, she's taking it back.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, God's got a plan for all of us. And at some point, you know, the earth will be as heaven, and there will be a lot of stuff that won't be here that we've become accustomed to.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So
anyway, I don't know how we got way off there with first
I know,
Friday.
it all happens every time.
It started with watering plants, and it went from there.
So it's your fault.
It's my fault.
I'm not taking the blame.
I asked about a glass bulb, and it went to
because we were talking about the flowers over at Foxworth Gallery.
Yeah.
And just so you know, over at Roswell Seed, they have in some of the most beautiful geraniums. So talking about flowers.
And that's usually a limited window when you get those.
Yes.
And it's right now. So get over there. Yeah.
And they have this beautiful coral color that I just absolutely fell in love with.
I love their some of the ads that they've done over the years. And they argue about the colors and they're like, that's not pink, it's fuchsia or whatever it is. It's pretty good.
Yes.
Those are pretty good. But yeah, go get your geraniums.
And we'll talk about plants again here in just a minute. But
here at the end of the month. Yeah.
So I thought that I would kind of give everybody a rundown of some of the businesses that are going to be open and offering some specials. White Mattress Company, and White Mattress Sleep Gallery, and the Gallery Arts. Indian Arts Gallery.
They sell mattresses and beautiful Indian decor and jewelry.
Yes. So they're running $50 to $500 off of mattress sets. And I'll tell you, the jewelry in there, oh my gosh, I go in every time. I'm like, I'm going to have to start a layaway over there at some point. You know, I'm wearing a few pieces that I got
they got
from
beautiful
a friend.
turquoise pieces. And it's not just jewelry. It's decor and things like that. I mean, plenty of jewelry, but it's
collectibles,
different
collectibles,
but all
absolutely.
Native American crafted items.
Yes.
It's really beautiful stuff. And then, of course, if you're looking for a good night's rest, they got you covered there,
yes.
too.
Well, and it's not just mattresses. So they do have other furniture.
Yeah.
You know, the beds, obviously, and some dressers and, you know.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe they're one of the few places in town, too, if you need, like, RV mattresses or odd-shaped mattresses, White Mattress is one of those places that can get that kind of stuff for you.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And my husband and I have one of those beds where we each have our own side and we can adjust. And so the mattress, you have to be careful which mattresses you get because they have to be able to bend at certain spots. And when we stripped everything off and we knew we needed new mattresses, we looked and it said White Mattress Company. And I was like, I wonder if they can do the same one. And sure enough, I took a picture of it and I took it down there to Daryl. And Daryl was like, oh, absolutely. We can get you those same ones. And I'm like, oh, hallelujah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking to myself,
this is going to be a trick.
Well, you know, because you get used to your mattress. And,
absolutely.
And, you know, we like a firm mattress. And I thought, I don't want to try out 5 or 6 or 8, you know.
That's why I hate pillows so much.
Oh, my gosh.
Because once I find the pillow, I love it. And then when I wear it out, it's forever before I want to let it go. And then when I find one, I'm like, and then it's a whole thing.
So I will give you the same advice that I give to women about purses.
Okay.
When you find one that you love, before they quit selling them, you best get back to that store and buy you one for purses in every color. In this particular case, I would recommend you go back and buy 6
Got a
or
couple
8
of them.
pillows, because then you
I
don't
just
have
got
to
to
worry
tell
about
my
it.
wife what we got to get rid of to make room for 6 pillows.
Well, you can get rid of the ones that you haven't been using.
Right.
Actually,
where I get her is bedspreads. My wife has shoes and purses. Yes, that's everybody.
Right.
But she also has an affinity for collecting bedspreads and things she loves. Like every time we go to the store, anytime a store sells linens, we're going through and looking at bedspreads. I'm like, we don't even need it. We only got 2 beds in the house. How many bedspreads do we need?
Oh, man.
So maybe we can get rid of a few of those. So I can make
There you
room for the
go.
pillows,
Make some room for pillows. You can also do the bags that suction the air out.
Oh, yeah, suck out with the vacuum, yeah.
Those are fantastic for storing things that are otherwise bulky.
Yeah.
I use them to store my out-of-season clothing. They're fantastic.
Yeah.
They save a ton of room.
I'll put all of our blankets in there. I don't want them wrecking my pillows, but we'll put the blankets in there.
So over at Gallery Arts, guys, Gallery Arts is up the street at 233 North Main. They're doing a free Easter craft.
Okay.
So they're going to have some, I'm assuming they're that thin board. What do they call it?
Oh, like particle board? Or?
No, not wafer board, I think is what they call it.
Okay, I know what you're talking about.
They're going to have different size eggs that the kids can come in and color.
Oh, cool.
So that's a free craft while supplies
They always
last.
have lots of stuff for fun for kids over at the gallery crafts.
Yes.
And if you're looking for great, unique art, that's the place to go because it's a collection of artists, basically.
It's a collection of artists, and I'll tell you what, if you are looking for gifts, that's one of those places where you can go in there and you'll find a little bit of everything. The chances of you not finding something for somebody on your list are pretty doggone slim because it is such a huge variety of items.
And the only problem
they're unique and one of a kind in almost every case.
And the only part that kind of gets you is you'll go in there and you find something you love and you're like, I'm going to come back later and get it, and it's gone.
Yeah,
and
don't
then,
do that.
And then you can't get it again. And you're like, dang. And then you keep asking and asking.
Yeah.
And then you got to track it down. That's the only part that gets. So if you see what you like, just grab it.
Yes.
Because there's no guarantee it'll be there the next time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. I used to have a sign in my store that said, you're going to go home tonight and think about that item. But guess what? Somebody who was here yesterday went home and thought about it last night and will be back in later today and purchase it.
Guaranteed.
It's going to be gone. Don't.
It's one of those Murphy's Laws, I think, out there. Yeah.
And we used to also refer to want sparkles. So somebody would look at a blouse or a jacket and go, oh, that's so pretty. And they'd try it on well, maybe. Well, the moment you put it back on that hanger and hang it back up, guess what? You've already put want sparkles on it. So chances are within the next 3 customers that walks in, they're going to go straight to it because those want sparkles are calling
Maybe
to
it's
them.
like cats and dogs with the scent thing. They pick up a scent. It's like, oh, there it is. I want it.
I don't know. It's just one of those odd things. Odd things. But, as we're coming into spring, everybody is looking to revive their wardrobe. Ladies, I'll tell you what, stop by Casabella.
Okay.
She just got in a huge shipment of spring items, including dresses for Easter.
Nice.
Of course, everyone's looking forward to
Easter's
the
right around
bright
the corner.
colors
Gotta look
and
good for
flowers.
Easter.
Yes. And if you pop over just next door over at Moonman Printing, they'll give you a free sticker. Just walk in.
Oh, cool.
No purchase necessary, but take a look around. If you're looking, again, for stuff to send to those friends that live out of town, or if you have friends visiting from out of town that are wanting the UFO experience and some of those knickknacks, stop in at Moonman Printing because they've got quite a bit.
Absolutely.
And they'll give you a free sticker, no purchase necessary.
And of course, if you need shirts printed, things like that done for your business or for your personal stuff, they got you covered.
They do. They do. So they do the screen printing, and I believe they do some, maybe I better not. They might do
ask about this.
Yes, ask about the vinyl because I think they concentrate, I believe, more on the screen printing, but you can ask about vinyl.
Sure.
For my vinyl work, I usually end up over at She's a Dandy. They have a fantastic collection of shirts and designs and.
Oh yeah, they got a lot of cool stuff there too.
Yeah, and
again, another place you can hit on your routes when you were going around.
Absolutely.
Main Street today.
Now I don't believe they're staying open late tonight.
So get there early.
Yes, I think they close at 5.
Okay.
If I remember correctly. It might be 5:30, but I would get there before 5 if I were you.
Okay.
And again, a lot of Roswell and Zia items. shirts, etc. A lot of custom shirts, jewelry, those types of things.
I've seen quite a few custom shirts come out of there. You're like, oh, that's a cool little Zia shirt, or a cool little just personalized shirts that she's made for people over the years. And I'm like, oh, that's a great idea. It all comes out of she's a dandy. So, yeah.
And I know we're running short on time, but I wanted to let everybody know. I do know that Love's Food Truck is going to be in the parking lot just north of Hangar 209.
Okay.
At 209 North Main. And let you guys know that planting day. So we have a lot of volunteers that like to come out for our planting day on the day when we are planting those large planters there on Main Street.
Yeah.
We have Keep Chavez County Beautiful donates the flowers and the soil.
Okay.
And we ask for volunteers to come out.
You just need the labor.
We just need the labor. So, and it's a great experience for kids.
Usually, like kids come out, families love to do this together. Sometimes little garden clubs will come and big. But really, it's a fun morning of they go around town and
you're
plant.
going to get your hands dirty.
Yeah,
you're
digging in the dirt.
If you've got gloves, bring them. If you've got a trowel, bring it. But
in all fairness, it's not like backbreaking work. It's
no.
planters.
Yes,
it's little planters. We're not putting oak trees in these things or nothing. It's just
we're not going to make you dig. With
just maybe a foot digging, depending on how big the plant.
You just reach in and move some dirt around, and then you tickle the bottom of the plant, and you drop it in there, and then we go through and we hit it.
All I know enough to know about planting is if you buy a $5 tree, you got to dig a $10 hole. That's
that would be pretty accurate.
That's the lesson I've been told over the years when it comes to planting is you make a hole a lot bigger than you think you need to make it.
Yes. So I said that I would give out my phone number, and I'm going to give it out for a couple of reasons. So I'll give out the Main Street phone numbers. We have, of course, food trucks. We're looking for food trucks for Food Truck Fridays. And I can get you the list of businesses that are willing to host. You're going to call 915. Oh, my gosh.
I thought you were going to say 911.
575-914 8017 or 8018.
Okay.
And I'll get back to you. And just so you know, we are also having a fundraiser next Saturday out at the fairgrounds.
Oh, cool.
If people are interested in getting more information about that, please call me. Again, the phone number is 575-914-8017. Is
there anything on your Facebook about that, or is that strictly call you for?
It's call for information.
Gotcha.
And we are looking for items for our silent auction for that fundraiser. But the fundraiser will be dinner and some giveaways and things like that.
Excellent. So you're going to get in there, and again, the proceeds to help Main Street and the Main Street programs and work them. So I'm sure your Main Street businesses love to get some tickets for you guys to come in, and obviously we want the public to get out there to support. And because a thriving Main Street's good for every single one of us. It makes a better community.
Well, and so some of the things that Main Street is working on right now is different grants, and this will be the first this will be the first real announcement of it. Our friend Daryl down at White Mattress was able to get a $5,000 grant.
Oh, cool.
Yes. So we're really excited about that one.
Is that for facade?
He can use it for whatever purpose. He had already through the EDC.
Okay.
So the Roswell Chavez County Economic Development Corporation.
Another great organization.
Yes. They have a facade program along with Main Street Roswell has one, and that's something I'm working on a grant right now for some facades for a couple of different businesses. But this one was a very specific grant, an inclusive grant. Gosh, I wish I remembered the whole name of it. I should have written that one down.
The official government term.
Right. So there were only 75 people throughout the United States that got this. Only 2 in the state of New Mexico.
That's impressive.
Yes.
So so he can literally do anything with it?
That's a $5,000 grant for his use, however he needs or wants to use it.
Awesome.
Yes.
Well, good for him, and congratulations.
And I just sent out some information, spoke with one business and sent it via email to another business. There's a $40,000 grant for restaurants that are in historic areas or historic buildings, have to have been in business for at least 30 years. Okay. And we have 2 businesses in our downtown district that qualify. That's Peppers and El Toro Bravo. So I have sent them the information. I am hoping and praying that they will apply for it. The deadline for that one, I believe, is today.
Wow.
So if you're listening, ladies
Someone
and
remind
gentlemen.
him, if you're going to eat at El Toro Bravo or Peppers,
Reminds me, hey, Molly said, don't forget to fill out that grant.
Yeah, because it's like the lottery. You can't win if you don't play.
Exactly.
In this case, if you don't fill out the paperwork, and this particular
grant is free money. You don't have to pay that back.
That's right.
This is a win-win.
And this was a super easy paperwork. I looked over the paperwork, and it's a very easy.
Because grants can get in the weeds sometimes. Yeah,
yes.
Especially, that's why there's people that get paid to do nothing but write grants for a living, because it's complicated.
I'm learning, and I'm learning, but it's not as easy as it sounds. You think, I just write it. You don't just write it. You got to do a lot of research.
Thank a lawyer. They made all this stuff hard.
I have lawyer friends.
That's right. They know. They're laughing too. Like, yeah, we made it hard. They know. They tell the same jokes to each other.
Yes.
I know. But again, folks, if you have any questions about anything we talked about here, the Main Street Roswell Facebook page is always, especially one like we were talking about the April 30th planting day.
There's
a flyer that's got all the information there about that. If you have any questions about First Friday here, like you said, have the numbers. But and then of course, don't hesitate to reach out to your favorite business.
Absolutely.
If you want to make sure they're participating at what hours and what they're doing.
Yes.
If we didn't mention it, or if you just want to know, because I know some like Books Again's one of those ones that they usually do their bag sales during the day, all day and things. I'm not sure if what they're doing this Friday.
I just did not have a chance to make all my phone calls.
So call ahead and talk to them, and so. But support these Main Street businesses because a lot of them support nonprofits that support. That's the great part about supporting Main Street is every single dollar you're spending really does stay local, and way more so than if you shop at a big box store, and certainly more so if you shop online to an out-of-town business.
Absolutely.
That money is, and I remember years ago they'd say like 75 cents out of every dollar if it's shopping local, and 30-some if you shop at a big, and I don't remember the exact percentages.
I'll bring you a sheet.
It's something along those lines, but it really does make a difference. So, and of course, for folks that don't know, the city of Roswell, it's not like we pay taxes, but it's through gross receipts.
Right.
That's where they make money. So the more people that buy stuff through local, and then that more of that money goes back to the city. Road
repairs and our law enforcement and fire department, all those things.
Your water bill and your water and all that.
Yeah. The city does for the community is paid through gross receipts. That's how they make their money. And so if you're spending your money on Amazon, guys, guess what? You're only hurting yourself. I understand. I'm a penny pincher. I understand sometimes it's a little cheaper here or there, but always look local first.
Absolutely.
Please. It's a very important step to take.
And if you do the Amazon thing, check out Amazon Smiles, because a lot of times you can help some local nonprofits.
Absolutely.
I know off the top of my head, I know Walker Aviation Museum does it. I know there's way more than that.
There's several schools.
I think CASA,
that do
maybe
it.
some of the schools that do it. Just talk. And if you have a nonprofit that you support and they don't do it, maybe put it on to them and maybe see if you can help them get onto that. And it's, I don't know, I guess it depends on how many people that get it, but it's a nice free chunk of change for these organizations.
It does not cost the organization anymore, and it does not cost you anymore.
So if you have to do it that way, that way you can at least support one of our local charities.
Right. It is a way that Amazon gives back.
Absolutely. So that way Jeff Bezos can get every one of your dollars. He's going to take everything away from you anyway at some point. Just, let's slow it down a little bit here.
Right. Yes.
And then, of course, if you're wanting to get involved, volunteer, there's more, how about serving on the board? Are you always looking for new members to serve on the board and things like that?
Absolutely, we are. So we are always looking for board members. We're looking for people who have a real interest in making Roswell better and people who have time to work. So I know that some organizations, their boards meet once a month and then they answer a few emails and that's it. Guess what? That's not our board.
You're a much busier board.
Our board are workers. We are a working board. There are certain events that are pretty much mandatory, shall we say. So it is a very fun job. Or a
labor of love.
A labor of love, because you don't get paid.
Yeah.
Only our executive director gets paid. But as a volunteer, for me, it gives me a huge sense of accomplishment to be able to say, yeah, I helped out to do this, or that mural over there. I was
it's your
part
stamp
of
on the
helping
community.
make some of those decisions. And so we would love to talk to you if you're interested in being on our board of directors. Again,
it's a great way to invest in your community and being involved in your community.
Absolutely.
When we talk about, we've given back and things, and I always say this, I know people have life struggles and time and things are
stuff
an essence.
happens.
But
I mean,
at some point you hopefully get to a point where your life where you're not living paycheck to paycheck. You're you got a budget. You're settle down, the family, kids, the whole nine.
you have a little bit of time to be able to give back.
And then maybe that's when you start looking. Now that you've taken care of your own needs, pick an organization. I don't care. Maybe it's pets. Go work with the Humane Society. Maybe you love kids. Go coach or work for CASA or work with one of these groups. Maybe it's more religious. Work with one of your churches. I don't care what you do, but find something that you're passionate about and support it.
Yes.
And if every single person in our community did that, I don't know if we'd be in want for a lot of stuff. I think we'd be in good shape.
I don't believe we would. I think that we would be in much better condition.
Yeah.
And literally, there are so many organizations out there that are
maybe
looking
it's homeless.
for...
Maybe it's food. Whatever.
Literally, if you only have 2 hours a month, that's all right. There's plenty of organizations that can use your help for 2 hours.
The city has their community volunteer. You can go help at the zoo or help the library or something like that.
And it can be anywhere from physical labor. Obviously that's needed too, but the data input, those types of things. Years and years ago, I volunteered at the police department.
Yeah.
I don't know if they still do that, but I worked in the technical services, which most people would call CSI. And I did fingerprints. I did photo lineups. I developed photographs. To tell you how long ago it was, there was actually film.
There's a dark room and all that.
I had to develop the films, and it was. I loved it. It was a very enjoyable experience to be able to see the inner workings of all of that.
And like you said, even if you don't do the physical, but like say like serving on a board. Maybe you're a lawyer. Maybe you're a financial planner. Maybe you can, your day job. You can serve your expertise in your day job on these boards. I'm sure you can never have enough financial experts or marketing experts serving on the board.
Fantastic.
On the board for Main Street or many other boards around here.
We're very lucky. We recently had Alan Shanley join our board, and he's real estate, so that helps us to understand much of the the challenges that people have when they're getting ready to purchase property in our downtown district, and some of the there's a lot of different rules and so forth as far as when you go in to make changes to the building, and there are a certain number of parking spots you have to have and all these kinds of things. And so Alan has been fantastic in helping us to understand that and kind of give us somebody that we can refer these new business owners to say, hey,
a resource for you and your and Main Street,
and for the people, the
businesses,
the stakeholders. We just had a stakeholders meeting this past Saturday over at 3rd Street Station.
Oh yeah, I saw on Facebook
Backdraft Barbecue.
So everyone went away full of food. I'm guessing.
Yes, that was so good.
Yeah.
And that was one of those things where we were able to really pick their brains, because it's difficult. It's hard to get everybody together. We have a monthly stakeholders meeting.
Sure.
But
and these are all people that their businesses consume probably 9/10 of their day.
Absolutely.
And they don't have a lot of time to separate from that.
Right.
Sometimes.
Right. So we chose a Saturday night, and we were like, hey, come join us for dinner. And we had a good turnout, and we were able to pick their brains to get a better idea of where they...
Maybe you need to promise barbecue at every meeting, and you'll get a good turnout.
That's going to get really expensive. Because the more that word gets out,
the
bigger those meetings are going to get. Which would be good for the input, but...
Well, maybe Backdraft will tease them. Like, here's one rib. You want another one, you got to buy it.
There you go. We'll just do tastings.
That's right.
What do they call those tapas?
Little tapas of barbecue. I like it.
There we go. That's an idea.
Perfect.
Let me see what I can get done. I work with all the restaurants downtown and have each one of them come and,
that'd be fun.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, absolutely. But come out tonight, folks. Come support. The weather's going to be beautiful. Bring the family out. Come prepared to walk down Main Street here.
Enjoy
Check
the
out
music.
Live music. Enjoy some of the food and the food trucks. And, of course, our staple of great restaurants that call Main Street home. Visit any of them. They got dinner, dessert, coffee, before, drinks it, before, after. They got you covered.
Yes.
Whatever you want to do here. And maybe you can do a food run while you're doing like a pub crawl. Maybe do a food crawl while you're shopping around there and doing some of that.
So and I'll get back with you guys when we have a better plan for our Food Truck Fridays.
Yeah.
We've got some ideas that talking with some of the business owners, they were like, well, what about this? What about that? And I'm like, well, I'll see what I can, who I can get in touch with, and y'all can work it out.
I think we got some fun with that too, and turn it into, maybe some kind of contest or some kind of event, the food trucks. Maybe we do a food truck versus a brick and mortar day or something. Well, it's like, who's better, game on, and we get like Peppers and El Toro Bravo pitting up against the food trucks. That'd be kind of fun,
Yeah. And we have been, when speaking to these property owners, we've got a couple of different property owners that are willing to offer larger parking lots where there could be multiple trucks in one location.
Cool.
If that's what they choose to do.
Yeah, that's a real thing. I think that's a real good draw for people. Like if you tell them you're doing a food truck sample fest or something at one of these big parking lots, and then guess what? Everyone's going to park down there, and after they eat, they're going to go walk over to Dara's or walk over to Stella.
Dara's isn't here.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
She moved up north, but she's there.
But you know what I mean? Walking, just hitting the Main Street corridor is the first thing that popped in my head. So
it's okay. It's okay. So and so one of the great things about that, if you've got kids, and you tell them, oh, we're going to such and such a food truck, it'll be like, you're going to have a split family. The moment you say that, you're going to have, well, I don't want that. I don't
want tacos, someone
so when
burgers,
when you have several trucks set up in the same parking lot, then you can get a family to actually cooperate.
Yeah.
Hey, let's go downtown and we can each pick which truck we want to eat from.
Or have fun and do a family style where everybody picks something from a different truck and then you just all go to one table and everybody tries a little bit of each.
Yes.
And then of course some trucks do specialties, so maybe you go for the main course or one and then dessert to another one, or a slushy drink or something.
I totally forgot. I'm glad we've stayed on food. Roswell Resale Emporium right over here on Richardson at 314. They're actually going to they've got a little Chicago style hot dogs they're selling tonight. So stop over there. I am so sorry, guys. Ugh,
nice.
They're going to be mad at me. I almost forgot. My list is a little confusing.
Once they fire up the hot dogs on the grill or whatever that'll start selling itself.
Right. Yeah. So stop on over there. I believe it was $5 for a hot dog.
Oh, nice. And these are like the gourmet Chicago style where they do them up with the Chicago fixins and all that.
I think you get to pick what all you want on it. So definitely stop over Roswell Resale Emporium on Richardson, North Richardson, 314.
Nice. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Again, First Friday tonight. Come on out. Bring the whole family. Call your favorite businesses to find out if they're doing anything specific or certain hours. And of course, if you have any questions about anything, reach out. Leave a message on the Main Street Roswell Facebook page if you have any questions about the planting day on the 30th or serving on the board or maybe future First Friday events, things like that. So.
And we'll have other events throughout the summer. We've got. Of course, Main Street Roswell's helping out during the UFO Festival. We'll have some events going on downtown. Yeah. So it's the UFO Festival downtown events at the courthouse and hopefully over here at Reichman. I know that there's several businesses that are really looking forward to, blowing it out by having some tables outside and stuff like that. So we're looking forward to that. And then, of course, we hit the farmers market that'll start the following weekend, and then we get
that'll start in July there. I'm already looking forward to farmers market.
Busy.
That's my favorite parts during the summer farmers market.
Yes,
you can get so much stuff there, especially when it's at the beginning and the end. It's because some people don't know about it yet, so it's a little slow. But right around towards the end of July, August, that's where it's like the high water mark.
The first couple of weeks are usually a little slower. Yeah. And then it just is like, bam.
Or it gets out or something.
Yes.
Well, thank you, Molly, as always.
Thank you.
Appreciate the visit.
Appreciate you having me come in.
Anytime, and don't work too hard, okay?
I'm going to try.
All right, it is 9:58. Let's take a quick break before they kick me off the radio. Don't go away.
Competition is a big thing, especially when your child plays sport. My child comes home from practice saying, I beat so-and-so in this, or I was faster at least more than 2 people today. As a parent, I simply am thankful to watch her compete and thrive to do better for herself. But for her, everything is a competition. Even the late, great Dale Earnhardt said that second is the first loser. Sometimes competition can suck the life out of you. You know what? Running the race in the spiritual world is different. Running the race is about keeping the faith. And oh, how we could use a little pep talk on keeping the faith these days. A guy in the Bible named Paul wrote a letter to his young disciples saying, I have fought the fight, I have finished the race, I have kept the faith. Finishing makes all the difference when it comes to God. So if you are thinking about throwing in the towel, remember, just hang on and keep running the race. God will be there in the end.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10